down by Sebastian's, right?
Val,
Yeah, there's
Val
Val.
and Ricky,
And then there's that other guy
yeah,
way down south.
wonder which one it was.
Because that's the only two that I'm.
I know I didn't get any details.
We're already low on bus drivers as it is.
Couldn't have been good.
Yeah? No. Huh.
Got one of those really, really large school districts.
Yeah.
It's very
It
vast.
is,
Yeah.
really large.
Mhm.
It's like where I grew up, that one school district is like 3/4 of the county. So with all of it, it's its own, and then it's like youth breaking animals, which is just a small corner. Takes, and then Towner and Granville up county is literally
The
rest
rest.
of the county.
Oh my gosh.
They could even stretch it a little bit in the bottom.
Oh my
Little
gosh.
city can go either direction,
Oh.
so. Your bus route might be an hour and a half, and it's like 12 kids.
Yeah. I don't know, if mine rides, it's an hour bus ride for her.
Mine too, they get on
Yours
at
too?
6:55 and they get to school at 10 after 8, just from here.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Mine was kind of convenient, because at my place, it was almost, it was about an hour and 20 minutes, if I got picked up at my place of a drive. But if we drove about a mile, if my mom drove about a mile to another intersection, that the bus would make a loop there, and that's basically the end of its route, so it would be like 10 minutes.
Oh, really?
So we should do that.
I would do
mile
that
drive
one.
and save over an hour of our.
Mom, I'm running late.
Yeah.
Darn it, huh?
Again today.
Yeah,
Huh.
again today.
That's crazy.
I think we got a plan here.
Oh, I was so happy when I got my license and after I had the bus We were the first ones on, so that was like 7:05.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're not a like nice ride usually either.
Oh,
You know,
no,
it's just
no.
like,
And then in summer, like, it's like the end of school year and it's hot and
So-
dusty. and
Washboard's
beginning
is
of school
deep
year
up
is
the
hot
one
and
hill.
dusty.
yeah.
I lived on JP
They,
Road,
they
so
used to
we were
come
the
down
first
through
ones on.
us down
We did the
there,
whole country
and,
route.
you
Not
can
like
tell.
the first ones off,
Well,
so
now they
Oh.
kinda
that's
backtrack,
bad,
but boy,
Yeah, back home
there's
it
that
was the
one
first one on
hill.
and the last one off. And
I
remember
can't
one time I
imagine
fell
how
asleep
that
on the
shakes
bus,
that bus.
And
And
I
that
popped my
guy
head over the bus
drives,
driver's like,
they,
Liza, what are you doing out here? And he's already back in
I
town.
mean,
had
it's
to
not
bring me
30
back.
miles an hour.
Benson fell asleep on the bus last year too, and
Like
she
the
took off
bus
and fell
lasts
on there,
only
like,
for one day.
stop, I'm missing a kid.
Wait.
Yeah,
See-
it's gotta
see,
be
that's why
tough.
you sleep with your legs out into the alley.
That's not allowable.
Yeah,
You have to
you
keep
can't
all your
have-
limbs in the seat.
Oh, yep,
Sorry, back in my day.
Travis, you rule breaker.
and they, and, you know, Farm and Home got cheap cattle shockers, so you just, get them in there.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice bus driver, wouldn't it?
They're looking for him. Wait, come on now.
Yeah, I know the family petition to have us get off first, so that, we were right there right away. Now that you've had a relaxing day at school, it's time to get to work.
Right? Fun time's over.
So you wanna play sports? Yes, because running my butt off is easier than working.
Hey, it's way more fun.
track meets this year? Last year we didn't have any track meets, right?
I think they didn't have a track meet.
Yeah, they've been having
Mercer
track
County,
meets.
Mercer County Housing Authority. Is this on here?
Nope,
Just the information.
yep, it'll be on.
Yep.
Whatever agenda.
Yep.
Next one.
June 16th.
And all the letters out to everybody, and that's publication to be heard, so. And I already have an application for John, depends on which one. So, or stepping down. So Shannon Tyler has applied for this position, because they go in districts,
Okay.
and I have that district map.
Not for
And
me.
that one I forgot to do in December, so we need to do it now. Usually they're on top of that, but
Who is?
I think the water board, they're usually on top of.
Oh,
sorry.
jeez. Okay, we'll call the regular monthly Mercer County Commission meeting to order. That snuck up on me. We have the agenda in front of us. Do we have any additions? Hearing none, I ask for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I so moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, Marvin, how do you vote?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
Gene, aye. Minutes of the May 5th meeting. Need a motion to approve as presented.
Chairman, I make a motion to approve the May 5th meeting as presented.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Marvin?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
How about I?
Gene, aye. Review the bills.
Two minutes, Gene? That was awesome.
Moving right along.
The clock is 2 minutes after.
Oh, Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Wayne?
just for some information, I'm sure you all got this little plat from Mercer County, whatever. Well, don't take that stuff for face true value. There's some properties that changed 3-4 years ago, and some people have moved off some property, and they're still in there as stone or so. Just to let you know for information.
Okay. I don't know.
Huh?
Apparently
The
I
plat
didn't
was
receive
got in the
anything,
mail?
cause I don't know what
Yeah.
he's,
You guys didn't get one?
Plat in the mail?
Probably got it in their email.
No, it's mail, because
Yeah.
I got it too.
Like the plat books we sell, like the
Yeah.
farm and publishing?
Yeah.
We got it in the mail this week. It's a
Yeah,
nice
there's
colored one now.
Bunch of sponsors that sponsor it, and,
They usually had to buy that.
Is it the same ones I sell?
yeah, I mean, regular,
Oh, yeah,
Selling what?
there are some,
but boy,
plat book. There are some discrepancies in there. I've had a couple phone calls on it. And I look back, because I provide them with the property listing, and I look back at the property list, and those landowners aren't on my property list, so.
yeah, it's like 3-4 years they've been out of there and they're still,
Is that what you're talking about?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, Melvin Schlender called yesterday.
Oh, Oh, yeah.
A plot book?
So, yeah,
Well, if I got it in an email, I deleted it, cause then I didn't know what it
Should've got
was.
in the mail,
no,
mail.
Yeah.
it's,
Like
a-
the size of a
No,
It's on the end of the counter, and then pile.
probably.
Gene, look at this.
Yeah.
yeah, high priority.
That, you know,
Apparently, my mail screener probably seen it.
first thing in our, in the entryway is that dang counter, kitchen, the end of it, that's where all the mail goes. And by golly, if you ain't after that every 2 days, it's like, wow. Keep that cleaned up.
Just for you two that came in, we're looking at the bills, and that's gonna take us a little while. Yeah, about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just so that you know what we're doing. We're, we're not sitting here waiting for a beer or anything.
Well, I didn't bring it, so.
Oh, damn.
Some of us might be.
Yeah.
Well, then it's gonna take
That-
longer.
That's the chair, it's just,
Oh, I just wanted to let you know what we're up to, so you just walked in. We review all the bills. Should I turn my volume ringer down if it's on? Yep.
You're gonna make me look.
And once again, to the rest of you commissioners, I'll sign them as I get them. If you got a question on one of them, pull it out, hold it aside. Edit.
They gotta use different abbreviations.
Short term? Well, actually, that's usually in my, years, that's short-term disability.
Yes,
It's
it
not
has,
even that.
it has many acronyms on it.
Apparently. STD.
Wish I would've stockpiled a bunch of plywood a couple
What's
years
that?
ago. Wish I would've stockpiled a bunch of plywood a couple years ago. Would've been a better than gold investment.
Right?
Oh, did you hear I can't get it exactly correct, but I hear someone like on Facebook advertise, they have like a 4x8 sheet of OSB, 3/4 inch, and said we'll trade for a 2024 F-150.
Yeah. You say the best way to flaunt your wealth is, shooting 9mm at a plywood target.
yeah.
Locks and keys.
not sure if Lucky's a Chevy man or not, but he had to make sure we knew it was a Chevy.
Oh, is that Untitled?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I just seen the,
yeah. The first one was a Kia,
yep.
the second one was a Chevy, and Lucky did it.
It didn't surprise me.
Really?
Where is the impound? Is that county shop in Beulah or?
There's a place behind the dump ground, well, Hazen, I shouldn't say that, I was thinking of Buell. Where's Hazen's at? I should know where that's at, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Pardon?
Hazen?
We had him to the landfill or
That's,
something.
that's
Yep.
Beulah, but he's 20 east of Hazen. There's a place in Hazen too where they stick these cars.
I don't know if the county does though.
The county doesn't, that's Hazen PD.
For what, for cars?
Yeah.
Landfill.
Impound.
I wanna say it's like, north of
Yeah.
the Teresa.
Yeah, there's a bunch of dump cars out there.
I think
Check your catalytic converter.
Right?
Never had to go there to retrieve anything, so I don't know where it's at.
That's not even petty theft, it's civilian.
Right. Some of those are extremely expensive.
Hmm. Downtown doing some towing too.
Commissioner Marvin?
Is it?
Yeah, we must have set a box culvert by the crossroads. You aware of that,
No,
or?
not aware of that at all.
Cause it's, we got a bill here for the crane service, and it says, use crane to set box culvert.
We'll hold that one as long as he's gonna be here this morning and he can explain it to us. Just have an explanation.
Yeah.
Gonna catch that one, Gene? We'll try to catch it when it comes right here.
Wait, the fees on that 24/7, does the state get a lot of that, or do we recoup a percentage of it?
Yeah, yeah, it's a shared.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wayne, you're talking about this Forterra bill for $191?
No, it's still here in the pile.
It's still
Okay.
back here.
I'm gonna see, cause there's some, part of that's here too. This is for box culvert connectors. I just set that out so we can, please.
No, I better do like Better not put it on my pile of stuff that I laid here.
This is the one that.
Holy smokes. That's some massive hinges there.
For the showers.
Jesus,
Second
Mark.
notes. What?
Holy smokes. Thought they were hanging a corral gate or something.
They're
Oh,
pretty
they,
stout doors.
Jeez.
they'd get that tore off too, so.
Yeah?
You're doing pull-ups on it, I guess. Here's that.
Don't give them any
You get that
ideas.
culvert one
No,
there?
trust me,
No,
they
it's
make
coming.
their own.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
busy.
watching for it.
Yeah, I got it. They're keeping me appraised too.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Door hinges and jail cell.
Imagine 8-inch hinges.
Mm-hmm.
This
Can't
is,
make them so you need a truck to pull them off.
this is the road. And I'm sure that's just regular, whatever, but we'll just have them tell us about it. Down in Sioux County, I don't know if I guys told you guys this yet or not, but they don't put a lock on the pop machines. They build a cage around the whole machine and bolt that down. Cause they don't steal pop, they take the whole
The
machine.
take-home machine.
Oh,
They just back up their truck and take the whole thing. Why waste their time, huh?
Jail cable. Did they give them PBS on the Weather Channel?
No, it's probably something more erotic, I mean, exciting than that.
I don't know why they need the Weather Channel.
Yeah,
Well,
closed in today. It's closed in today.
It's an enclosed environment. It's not gonna be any rain either.
I know they, the gal in charge of the state pen in Arizona a few years ago, she wasn't even gonna let them have TV, and then they said she had to let them. She ended up having to give them TV, and they got like 2 channels, like the Weather Channel, and so they could see every day how hot it was gonna be, and then like PBS or something like that.
Give them reruns of, Mr. Rogers.
Oh, there you go.
Word, there you go, took me a while. Deputies Association, Dan says, Association rules.
What do we need batteries for the mowers for?
Can't you just push start them? Out there with your foot?
Hmm. to worry, there's lots more coming yet.
Scuba one.
Yeah, diving gear. Sheriff's Department, 42110 is Sheriff's Department.
Staff here?
Yep.
WRT.
Yep.
What the heck?
I think we should put a voucher on that in the back of every one of those, and that way the chairman has to sign each one instead of piling them all.
I'm gonna be my secretary next week, Jean. I'll be all by myself. Amber's last day is tomorrow. When's that graduation gonna be ready for? All you have to do is answer phones and
Hit replay.
Well,
That's
that
a lot.
That's asking a lot there, Shanna.
That second part's the tough one. I can answer the phone.
I can bribe you with flavored coffee.
Oh, geez.
Where's the county, what do you want?
Yeah.
He was talking about a beer, I think.
It's about these
Right.
things. There's 5 days a week, you each take stand and then be the secretary.
Then the next week you'd get calls and complaints.
I don't know if you wanna deal with the rat after that, Shanna.
Shannon said,
Yep.
The fallout later.
Alright, fine, I'll just hold it down. Couple more weeks.
Hi, what do you want?
yeah.
Just tell him to call back in a month, okay?
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll go over well.
Put them on hold and
Who are you?
leave them there.
Nothing for me to sign.
Robin Williams, bunch of different
Yeah, that'd be
voices.
fine.
Right? See,
I
like stout
am
fire.
Chuck.
Down here.
That would be the best. People would be like, is
Spaniard.
this the auditor's
So
office?
there's-
I'm Chuck.
Sign them all. Sign all over.
I did.
Alright, you're fired, you're already not gonna start. Getting a
There, see, that's how you get out of it.
Travis, and say, in training, in training.
It just keeps saying
Morning,
that.
Jessica.
Okay, we wanna ask
Through those
Ken
hands.
about these, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it's just normal maintenance, but we may as well ask him because he's here.
Okay, so
You're just gonna make
Are
a bunch of all of them.
Right?
do we wanna wait to approve them, or are we okay with the bill? You just want a clarification?
Well, basically, basically, what I was thinking is what size this is and where the location is, so that when we get questioned, we have an answer for this.
So it really doesn't
When the
have any.
community
But,
asks.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with the bill, but
Oh, we just, okay, so then we can approve the bills.
we can approve the bill.
Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the bills?
Also moved, I guess.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Wayne, I vote.
I'll vote aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Marvin?
Aye.
Jean, aye. I'll sign them right away, so I don't forget, since we did okay them, so. Oh, we got 3 minutes.
We can do those.
Can you
tonight.
do the treasurer's report in 3 minutes?
No, we won't even get her here in 3 minutes,
Okay.
but we can probably
We can
get,
do the recorder's
April
fees.
audit recorders fees?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept recorder's fees of 6506.
Second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Marvin?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
Jean, aye. April sheriff's fees of $9,214.53. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Wayne did.
Yep.
Yep,
Second.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Wayne?
I'll vote aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Marvin?
Aye.
Jean, aye.
Go to 6, I think.
Liquor license number 449, semi-annual off-on sale. That is for the hub?
The hub, yep. Actually, it looks like must be the hub out at Hazen Bay. It says the hub at 674 Hazen Bay Road.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I wasn't on the commission, but they've had off sale there for a few years now. Okay, do I have a motion to approve it?
I'd so move, approve liquor license 449.
A second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none.
Aye.
Marvin?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
Jean, aye. Jeez.
All right, I need you to sign it. And stop.
Well, we've only got a minute, 45 seconds. Social service is gonna take longer, North Dakota legislative update, state's attorney and portfolios. On treasurer's report. Well, is Dave here?
Yep.
You wanna give us a brief?
Nick is gonna give it for you.
Okay. I will, let you guys know that we will listen to what you have to say, but there will be absolutely no action taken. We won't even, give you a recommendation, but we'll listen to what you have to say.
So I've got these emails here. Just so you guys know, we corresponded with
Yep.
Ken Miller on crossing the section line.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else need it?
I'll take it.
Was my wording okay, state's attorney? Okay.
So,
And that's just because obviously with the pending applications, it'll go through planning and zoning before it's presented here, so.
yeah, we just came to, make sure that you guys knew that we are in planning and zoning. And we've talked to Ken Miller.
Please, Nick,
About-
speak into the microphone so that when the public looks, they can hear us.
Sure. So we have talked to Ken Miller about crossing the section line. on our haul road, and he has agreed it is okay at this time. But if anything else were to arise, if you guys, have to make a road out of it in the future, that we would have to abide by his rules and changing things like that. So that's basically all we are coming here for, is just to make sure you guys are aware of it.
Okay.
So. Any questions?
Not really without stepping on toes, so we gotta,
Yeah.
at this point.
Oh, and we did have we do have a DOT, letter too also. We are working with the DOT, and we've made some suggestions to Jessica to add to our, permit also, some DOT suggestions, so.
And just for clarification, that is for access to Highway 200?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. Yeah,
They're on the agenda for tomorrow night, so.
Okay,
yeah, the DOT recommendations are, statewide.
sure.
So we have been the only ones to actually confront the DOT about our process and, how many trucks we're looking at.
Okay.
So we're the furthest along in this area that he is aware of in the Dickinson district. So that's cut off at the crossroads. So anybody on the other side of the crossroads would have to go to Bismarck,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so.
Gotta
Okay,
have a line somewhere, I guess.
yeah, right? Any other questions?
No?
I don't think so.
No, thank you very
Okay,
much.
Thanks for your time.
You bet.
Thank you.
Okay.
Miller time somewhere, right?
That one's done.
It says Miller time somewhere.
We can move right on to, do you wanna get the
Right.
treasurer, is she ready? Wanna get her in here?
Yes, so I will go ask her, while she's coming here, I want you guys to consider something. The first meeting of every month, I would like to have a treasurer's report. And I think she should be given a time on our agenda up on top so she knows what time to be here. And at 9:45 is my suggestion. I want you guys to consider that while I'm getting her, so that the first meeting of every month, we receive a treasurer's report. It's worth the information, so I'll go get her.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure 9:45 is gonna work. 9:30 block is, land use and emergency manager time block. I mean, it might work some agendas, but
What time do you recommend?
I don't know, do we have to have a set time?
It,
We can just have her, give her
Can she
report.
just, like, provide us with a paper copy that we could just review, or?
It's up to her, but I would prefer that she came in. It's a worthy piece of information and office for the county, so I don't see any reason why we
You
can't.
want me here or not? Is that the discussion?
No.
No, we're just talking
We're
about
just trying
time.
to figure out a time for it, Darby, that's all.
So
I prefer a time, it's easier for me.
Yep,
it's just professional that we allow her that time. Unless, if you guys don't mind, let's try 9:45 and see how it works.
Marty?
Pardon?
thank you, Darby.
Thank you.
Well,
How about
I would,
10:45?
I would just answer it this way, we could probably do a time, but it won't be set in stone every month. Right, and that way, if there's a conflict,
It would depend on what you all got going on,
sure,
I'm guessing, and I'm fine with
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
okay?
Okay, now this course is a couple weeks. This was from the end of April. And I don't know if you guys realize, the end of April, we turn this sheet in. I mean, the auditor's office gets this sheet every day. But these two numbers up here are what's on that other sheet. That's your total receipts
Yeah.
and your total payments for that month. And then on the white sheet, it adds that, so at the bottom of this page is your total for the year.
Okay,
And that's money in and money out. Now, you've also asked about it being part of the budget. It is budget money being spent.
What I want the board to be aware of, and I'll bring this up every time, is that we're trying to make our budget work. And we can't, looking at these numbers, sometimes our budget doesn't look too bad. This one here looks terrible for me, that we're already in the negative 445. We would be negative $579,070.87 if we never had the CARES money added in there. CARES money is a one-time, non-budgeted revenue. So our receipts and our payments, it shows 445,757 negative. It's actually $579,070.
this is for each month, like for January, that's what we took in, and that's what our
Right.
expenses were.
Your,
yeah.
your January, and the CARES money was received in January, so that amount shows that, 133,000. But I think what Marvin is saying, if you didn't get that, all that CARES money, I mean, and I don't mean it like that, the CARES money is unexpected revenue,
One-shot deal.
one shot.
Didn't you indicate though before that that was like to help compensate for some of the funding that we wouldn't be
Yes,
getting?
it is.
Because
But
of,
some of it now is, there's a whole lot of money being put out there for, I don't think we should rely on it.
no, but it's just trying to help compensate for some of the
Right.
aid that we would have gotten
Right.
otherwise, right?
Right.
Okay.
But if you're looking at 133,000 in CARES money that we've received in 4 months, that's not orange for orange.
There's a difference between the
Yes,
two, but it does help
There would be a difference from
somewhat.
what we actually should have received probably than what you're actually, your state payments come every month.
Is there any way to get those numbers that we could know, like what it?
I couldn't tell you
normally-
what it should be, other than compare them to previous years, yes,
Yeah,
yep.
and
we
there's a
can.
way to do that
Oh,
too?
yeah. We have all of that. for-
Yeah, if I could get that, I would
we
appreciate
had
it,
all-
because that would
How
help
many
me.
years do you wanna go back? Because we have folder in the office for your highway, for your coal severance, your coal.
I'd like 3 years if I
Okay.
could.
Okay?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you,
And-
Darby.
You're welcome. And the other thing I want you guys to
Here,
be aware of is the actual money we have is the 8.3. That is all the money in the county,
Okay.
Liza,
so.
I have what you're asking for. This is all the state aid, and there's the years all the way through 21. This is coal conversion, coal severance, this is all the different state aids. And I can give this to her, but I'll let you look at that right now. In fact, you can keep it. But usually I have a copy for Shannon when I hand something out, but I brought that for my information.
I just think it's important.
Absolutely is, because you referred that, we're reimbursing losses in revenue due to COVID. And we have a definitely decreasing amount in state aid, which I presented to the board prior to you being here, but it's not necessarily COVID related, it's got to do with industry and other reasons, just state. But
Overall.
that shows the years from 15 all the way on, and you can get that on the state treasurer's website. That's where I pull it off of.
Well, actually, we have a comparison sheet. Don has one made up.
Oh,
Yep.
I
perfect.
believe 15.
Yep.
Great,
That has all the payments on it that we've received since then.
perfect.
So,
Thank you.
yep. You guys have questions?
Any other questions?
Okay. I have some other business
Okay.
besides the financial.
Okay,
I'm also a member, we're all members of the NADACO, and we pay a fee to NADACO. I'm on the board, and Terry Trainer is retiring, and I'm on the planning committee to rehire for him. And I was at the meeting Tuesday of last week after our legislative wrap-up meeting, and they also set our dues. They increased them by 3% for the year, but it'll only be a $37 increase for us. So they'll go from $9,515 to $9,552. It's $37 more, and they have a formula, they figure out it was a 3% increase, but it's based on our population and
Okay.
stuff like that. And then they are coming around, Mercer County is one of the counties they'll be doing an executive tour for. So sometime in this year, yep, they will come around here and, tour our facility and meet with whoever can be available. I'm sure they'll be sending out a date for that.
I would think so.
I guess that's about all I got. Oh, and then if you guys have been contacted by NADACO, you new commissioners, you should get back to them. One of you guys is not contacted them back.
Got a hold of us on what?
Well, they reach out to all the new commissioners. NADACO does.
Okay.
And they have somebody calling, and they said one of our commissioners has not got back to them, so if you have been contacted by them, please send them back an email or
I was gonna say, I've talked to him a few times, so.
well, I'm guessing it
Well,
probably,
it's actually all through your new email, you know, we had your new emails right at the cutoff for our book getting done, so.
Mhm.
Maybe
So-
I should have had all your correct.
Am I the one they had talked to?
I'm not saying. I'm
Okay.
just saying if you've been contacted
Wow,
by.
because I've been in contact
No,
with them, so.
well, then it's
Okay.
not you.
All right.
Darby, did they have a location that they would meet with us, or is it,
It'll be here.
it'll be here?
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it'll be here, because they've not been to our new facility yet.
Yeah, they do
Okay.
tours every year, the executive board does, and
Yeah.
they pick different counties every year.
Okay, and they generally just go to the county
Yeah,
courthouse?
they used to call it the president's tour, but now it's called the executive tour, because the president of the board can't always be available, so somebody else has to. But we're with, Ward, McLean, Mercer, Oliver, and Renville. That'll be one
Trip.
trip for them, and it's usually probably overnight somewhere for them. Won't be here in Stanton, but,
Could be, but
well, unless they sleep in the jail.
They got new
Oh,
hinges.
we've got some
Yeah.
property on.
The doors
So-
are nice.
Main
now.
So
Street.
anyway, but that's just some FYI, you know, I'm sure they'll let Shannon know when that is, and
I call it.
so you guys can make it. We'll have to have,
Thank you for letting us know that.
yeah, I'm sure they'll let Shannon know or have an idea of how it works out for,
I would think so.
Okay.
and I think that's about all I got.
Thank you, Darby, for
Thank
coming in.
You're welcome. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Okay, thank you. We got, you say Jim,
I just texted, you wanted to do the social service program. Legislative update.
Vern? You can go ahead and,
I didn't put it on there, Marvin did.
I did.
okay.
I just-
NACO update.
Okay, and I think we can get this done before 10 o'clock. I just brought back a bunch of notes. Several of us, Shanna, Jean, and I, all attended. Did I miss somebody from our county?
Michelle Anderson.
Michelle Anderson,
I was online.
and she was on, so we had a legislative update put on by NADACO. They did a really, really good job, had some great speakers. Took down a lot of notes, and I want to run through some of those, just so it's information. One of them was Rich Wardner, he's a Senate Majority Leader. Lucky I wrote it down. One thing that he stressed is that the state general fund only increased by 1.5%, and they received COVID federal funds. And he wanted to stress that these are not part of the North Dakota State General Fund. It's a separate deal. He says they're not part of their that money is spent as one-time funding, something they don't normally get. Chet Pollard was the House Majority Leader. He also stressed that there needs to be a gap between one-time spending and general fund spending, and that coronavirus should be only for like one-time projects. Next was Bill Panos. This one here, I'm gonna have to do some more work. He's a North Dakota DOT director. He actually gave us his phone number. And he has, I need to go back and do some more work with him. He was in a hurry to leave. I caught him at the door and I couldn't
What,
get everything taken care of.
Marv, what was his name again?
I can't pronounce his last name. Bill Panos, Panos.
Okay.
And he's a NDDOT director. Very, very interested in getting as much funds for North Dakota as he can, and he even found ways that we were not doing it in the past, and we're getting a lot more. And on state aid projects, now this is one I put question marks by, we can possibly collaborate with one or two other counties to get more money by grouping together all of our state aid projects for a year. So I need to follow through on that, so that we, he said, actually end up getting almost twice as much as you would normally get if we filed separately.
Well,
As
that'd
it
be
goes into
cool.
different branches. So that I will follow up on, I thought was very helpful.
Do they have to be in the same district or anything?
I don't recall that. I'll do some more homework on that, though. He said there's a way for us to get a lot more money.
Yeah, he didn't really mention districts, he kind of made it sound like if, you know, you get a group of counties
Yep.
together,
Counties to work together.
and the more the better.
The more the
is
better.
The
Yeah.
way he made, yeah, that's almost the right words to use, the more the better.
Yeah, it's graduated, you know, it's, you get so much for this amount of money, and if you have twice as much money, you get twice as much state aid, so group them together, possibly, so we'll work on that. This one here, again, I think Gene wrote notes on this one too. Scott Miller from the North Dakota PERS, I think he told us we're gonna have a 14% increase next year? No?
Wasn't 14.
0.14.
Yeah,
0.14.
yeah.
I've got to move my decimal a little.
I was gonna say, that makes a big difference.
That
Thank
would be
you.
good, yeah.
Since PERS, we were new last year and just started in 2020, and now we're like considered
Invested.
not brand new anymore.
Yep.
Our rates actually dropped, they didn't go up at all. I got my notice, in the mail last week, so I'm just waiting to hear on my dental and vision, and if that doesn't go up, our employees are gonna be excited because our insurance is actually gonna go down. Not a lot, but it's like $20 for a family and $8 for a single plan.
So even though,
Everything else,
Yeah.
so
everything
even
else went
though
up,
the
so.
premium,
Right.
or was, I'll just use the word, that
It's
word,
terrible.
increased by 0.14, our savings was, our reduction was greater than that.
Yes, ours was because of, we paid a higher rate last year as being
Right.
first timers, so, yep.
Okay,
Good
that's
news.
good to know.
It was good
Very
news.
good.
I'm sure glad I brought that up. Holy smokes,
Yeah.
I knew I had something wrong there.
Thank you.
That's why I said right off the
Gave me a heart
bat.
attack.
That's what I said, something's wrong with this note here.
Well, that's generally about, Pretty close to average.
The last biennium, it was 17% it went up, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not an impossible number, yeah, right?
Okay, the other was Linda Sohovic, or in the DACO, they had a board, and all different departments from the DACO talked, but one of the things that Linda Sohovic brought up was road taxes. And there's two road levies that are going away at the end of 2024. And one of them we don't use, that's levy 1233, that's a county road, it's 5 mills. I don't think we ever voted to get that 1233. But anyhow, it's going away at the end of 2024. Also, levy 1212, that's our farm to market, which we call aid to secondary roads.
Oh, yeah.
That's 10 mills, that's going away at the end of 2024. She suggested, now you guys help me out if I say this wrong also, that we don't wait till then to apply to get more monies. Now, we have a levy 1204, which is county road and bridge, which presently we are at maxed at 10, but we can move that up, clear up to 30 if we had voter approval. And the way I understood her is that we don't wanna wait till the 9th hour to 11th hour to apply for that. So as we go through our budget season, let's keep in mind that we need to do something to get additional monies for roads, because there's two other levies are going away.
Are going away, yeah.
So if we were
We
to send that to
actually
the
don't use
voters?
the county road levy, 1233, we just use
Right.
1212.
We're not even voted, I don't know if we voted for 1233, we had to be pre-approved by January 1 of 2015. I don't think that.
We don't have that, we just have, 1212.
12.
Okay. So if we sent that to the voters, it would be the general election?
Yes.
The November one, or?
Nope, it would be, I'm pretty sure it would go on the primary ballot.
Okay, and then it would be settled at the primary, or would it be?
That I'm not sure, I'd
Okay.
have to look. I've not had to put a levy on, well, when we did the courthouse one, it was just the primary.
Yeah, those kind of votes are only a one-time deal usually.
Okay,
Okay.
so, but it could be
Okay.
at either election then, if it's a one-time thing?
Maybe, I'd have to look into it.
Yeah. The only reason I say that is we got two coming up next year, so we'd have an opportunity, if that was how we wanted to proceed.
That's where I'm going with that, is that we think we want to do that
Mhm.
next year, rather than wait till the following year. And
Yeah.
then something changes, you go, now what do we do? so let's be prepared. I think this is my last page.
Okay.
National Association of Counties, Matt Chase, who's executive director, he put some information on there. He talks about money that's coming to our county. In the next 2 years, we're gonna get $1,590,229. We're gonna get half of that in 2021, that's this year, and that's $795,114.50. This money has, in my words, lots of strings attached to it, requirements to spend it, and we will be audited.
I have not requested those monies yet,
Yep.
because I have to scan my face in there, I have to put my social security number in there, and I have to put my passport and ID in there, for my personal stuff.
Hmm.
And
I got
before
that.
we go and claim 1.5, almost $1.6 million, I would like the board to come up with how we're gonna spend it.
And say, I think we need a plan prior to that.
Because if we just take it and we don't spend it where it's supposed to be spent, we're liable to give all that back. And they said we could sub-allocate it to any political subdivision underneath us, but then if they don't spend it correctly, we're liable for all the
Right,
funds.
it comes back to us every time.
Do we have a
Well, you.
list of what we can spend it on? Have they provided that?
I listened to a webinar right after the NADACO conference, and it's supposed to be pandemic related. I have racked my brain, I can't think of anything we'd spend $1.6 million on pandemic related. So let's just brainstorm, I don't know, unless I'm waiting for NADACO to come down with another class. Maybe there's a loophole where they can say you can use it for this, this, and this, because really, the pandemic didn't affect.
Everything,
Right.
Financially affect us.
yeah.
Right.
In small ways, we can recover small
And
amounts.
if there's other ways, like down in, like your department or the road department, that it did affect that, I'm not, other than providing the masks and the hand sanitizer and stuff like that. I mean, we need to kind of think about it, because it's $1.6 million, and at this point, yeah, it'd be awesome to get Jim a new heating and air system and.
Yeah, but we
all
can't
that
say
stuff
that that's because
of
of
the pandemic.
COVID,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gee,
We're-
I
So-
got a road over by
That is
Hazen
why I
that
have
needs
not
paving.
put in for it yet, because I don't wanna put in for it without.
This sounds good.
Okay, that's where I was going with it. I was going to introduce a thought that we might move forward with a plan.
Darn
Because of all these requirements,
it, trying to get rid of some wash.
there are some things that we can possibly recover. One is that we never charge the cities to reimburse us for police protection. That's due to the pandemic. There's $5,000 that we've had direct costs for tissues and different things. There's small amounts, but not nearly close to this $500,000 or $800,000 that we get per year. So I would say let's continue to research it, but in line with what Shanna was saying, that I would recommend that if we do pursue this is just food for thought, that this money gets put into a fund all by itself, no, doesn't go anyplace, it's very specific.
Yeah, because we need to track
It
it.
has to.
And it has to have, all the expenditures have to have board approval. That way, because we're the ones that's gonna have to send the money back if we do something wrong.
Well,
So
that
that's
is a
what-
stipulation, this has to be set in a separate fund, and all expenditures are board approved anyway, but
Mhm.
yes, it has to be
Pri-
in
yeah.
in a special fund that will be audited, and on top of that, the auditor is required to send in quarterly statements of how much is spent out of that fund and what they were for. There's a lot of record keeping and a lot of paperwork that follows with this, so if we're not absolutely certain what we can spend this on, that it's gonna be proper, I would say.
I can make this clear. I got that paved road with all them washboards over here, that money would be gone and no problem
So
with
how
it.
is that related to the pandemic?
Well, those folks that had to get on that fixed wing airport had some sore ribs, so well, yeah, the hospital, the hospital
It'll
had,
reduce dust, which would
No.
help
The air quality.
COVID-related respiratory distress.
well, they had to get on, right, they had to get on the fixed wing from the hospital, so.
So anyhow, just
Food for
want you-
thought.
just so everybody's aware that we have a challenge in front of us to see if we can take advantage of, but let's do what, like Shanna says, let's be very, very careful. What I was hoping that prior to spending this money on something, that we could get approval from
US Treasury?
US Treasury, that project is approved. Let's just say your airport road.
Okay.
We got approval, yep, you guys can do that. 2 years from now, a different person is in that office, and they said, You can't do that.
This don't look right, huh?
So I'm hoping that,
I don't
We really gotta get the guidelines.
think, I don't think.
Well, that was part of, at that meeting, they couldn't even tell us
They
guidelines.
couldn't,
It's,
and they're still researching it.
Yeah.
I say they're still trying to dig into it.
I'm waiting until I put our claim in, just because also I don't know if I wanna get my face scanned with my passport.
Is there a timeline for when this has to be taken care of, Shanna?
I don't know.
I understand the
Yeah, I heard.
privacy thing. I'm not laughing at that. I
Yeah,
respect, I
sorry,
respect that.
Well, because what's gonna happen is, something's gonna happen, nobody's gonna spend this money right, and then they're gonna come out of my checking account and find $1.6 million.
You'll never,
Have issues.
you'll never get on an airplane because they got you.
Yeah, that's all I have.
So yes, I'm gonna further research, but if you guys have time to delve into the NACO website,
Them in their way.
it'd be appreciated.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll
so the
get-
two things that I want to stress. One is that, we just talked about. The other is that, let's keep in mind that we're going to have to do something about county road levies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
got more on, any more? I have nothing to add to the legislative update. Marvin did.
I have a couple of things.
Okay?
The capital projects levy can now include road and bridges, and that's something that doesn't need to be voter approved. That was House Bill 1116. NDERF is gonna be increasing our insurance premiums by 5% this year. So you're gonna see that reflected in the budget. The county, on foreclosed properties now, the county can no longer retain the excess funds, which would just be a couple dollars usually. Normally, we don't get any excess funds, but if there is any excess proceeds, it has to go to unclaimed property. The county is no longer able to keep that. The veterans credit, that dollar amount increased for that. And, Senate Bill 2280 was a really good one. It allows county commission to establish a new sale price between sales on foreclosed properties.
That was one I was gonna bring up too.
That one is a really good one. And then Senate Bill 2276 was law enforcement. We redacted all of their addresses out of our stuff, but if they wanted redacted out of, the recorder's office, they have to request that by the recorder, and she will have to keep their address confidential. So those are just a few other of the highlights that I, wrote down. And there's no increase in retirement premium this year.
Do you have anything to add, Liza?
No, the biggest one I was thinking of was that we could actually set a different sale price, which I thought would be very helpful.
Yes.
Okay.
Did we cover everything you learned, Dean?
Yeah, and more. I just learned more here. Apparently I was, dozed off some of the time. Okay. Okay. Oh, Ken's here.
Oh, Jim, sorry, Jim, we don't need you right now.
Yeah.
I'll text you again.
Took longer than we thought.
You got the floor, Ken.
Morning.
Good morning.
First up there is the auction items. We just have a smaller list. I talked with Candy, she's got a water tank. Did she talk with you, Shanna?
Yep.
Okay. And then Jim was gonna talk to you too. I don't know if he had anything either.
Yeah, he had a couple of things. They wouldn't necessarily need to go to sealed bids because they're not valued that much. But if we're advertising, it's one of the
I
two
believe-
bundles of insulation and a
One-
bag of below insulation.
Yeah, bundle insulation, right?
And then 3 boxes of light fixtures. No, you guys can pass it down with them.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if we wanted to put those on the employee one where, you know, when it's under $1,000, we don't have to advertise, but we can since we're advertising anyway. And that was, sucking that out of the auctionals. What did you all have, Jim?
Where did these come from?
The auctionals.
On Harmon Avenue here.
That's the one down the Main Street that you looked at.
Okay.
We just had a couple, like that 15-foot diamond hydraulic mower, 40-foot 1983 flatbed semi-trailer, pickup box trailer, or a pickup box off of a pickup, handmade snow pusher for a loader, 100-gallon fuel. We got a couple fuel tanks, but like this was a service one that has a leak in it. And, another couple, a 1995 service truck, a box that we use for our, well, that's for a two-ton, that's our fencing truck, that old Air Force pickup that was bought at, surplus, and then, the pickup box that goes off that flatbed for, what you use for a tar wagon off of a 3/4 ton pickup. So it's, I mean, it'd be nice to get rid of it if we can, so,
Can you provide that list to Shanna?
yeah, I can just, you can have this copy.
And then what, just advertise for,
Well, I'm gonna offer an idea, we'll see. So we got that list, we've got these two items here,
in Candy's water tank?
and Candy's water tank. What does the board think that we put all these in the ad and put them out in the paper for sale, and possibly,
It's what, kinda what we gotta do, right?
if it's, well, if an item is $1,000 or greater, you have to, but all grouped together, this could be over 1,000, but it could be individual if you want, so it's up to Jessica, what do you think?
Well, no, it's,
Some of those.
cause you're not bidding it as a lot.
No?
No. So, it's up to you if it's under 1,000, if you wanna include it.
I would recommend that we,
Included, what do you mean?
On the advertisement?
On the advertisement,
No, no,
since
no.
we're doing all the
Which
other.
items included
I have no idea. Whatever would be under 1,000.
that we would not have to advertise?
Right.
But if we're advertising and paying for it already, might as well just put it all on there.
That was gonna
Exactly.
be my suggestion.
Cause otherwise you might, if it doesn't sell internally, you might end up having to.
You have to do it
that
again anyway,
So-
Do
so
it
might as well
again.
just get it done
so
in one shot.
the advertisement would be itemized then, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Correct.
all you have written here.
Do we need a motion to do that?
Set the time
Yeah, 'cause you're gonna have to
Yep,
set the big.
spending money.
The bid letting.
Yeah.
I'm
A
confused.
deadline to receive and then, or is it gonna be,
In other words, we have to just approve that we list these items, that we advertise them, and that the bids have to be back by, you know, whatever, a particular date, and then we open up the bids that date and award the items. Did I get that all correct?
I'm sorry, I was clarifying, cause it's listed as auction items, but it'll be sealed bids. So you need a
Right.
deadline for
Sealed.
bids and then the bid opening.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Well, we were saying the same thing.
We'll
Okay.
make a motion to list these items in the paper, per item you bid on, and then we have a particular date that the bids have to be back here by, and on that date, we open those bids and we award those bids, or those items that got bidded on. What about the items that we received no bids on?
Then we'll deal with it at that point.
Plan
Okay,
B,
Yeah.
yeah,
so that's what we would need a
We might
motion.
end up tarping something in the back.
that's right.
And
Or
that
fun.
Candy's gonna do that job.
We
Oh,
could,
geez.
Or something
What
over in
date
your
would you
yard.
recommend, Shannon?
June's fall, I would recommend going out to July 7th.
It's right after the 4th. You wanna do the 7th, or the 14th, or the,
When we move the 21st to the
to the
27th,
27th,
right?
to the 27th.
well, I'm just asking, I'm just throwing out different thoughts.
I would say July 7th.
I mean, that gives them 5 or 6 weeks to
Yeah,
put something
plenty
together.
of time
lots
to
of
get
time.
stuff into us, and then hopefully we can get stuff out of here.
Okay, so July 7th,
at 10:30.
Yes.
Sealed bids on county property.
Yes,
So maybe it's only, it's only
I was just gonna say,
on
county,
Assets.
miscellaneous county items.
That's what I wrote down.
assets.
on advertised, but can it say like sealed bids on advertised county property that we're?
I don't know if you'd call it
advertise
property, I'd call it assets.
assets, I'd say.
Yeah.
as County assets?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So move to advertise miscellaneous county assets for sealed bids per item due by July 7th at 10:30. I wrote down what everybody said, so I'm trying to put it in the pile.
Trying to put it in the
Right.
motion to get it
Yeah.
out.
Pile it up.
Permission for auditor to advertise.
Yes.
When you're done with the motion, could you read it back to us? I would like to know what I'm going to.
You're supposed to do that. It's good.
such a thing as a joint motion, that's what it is.
Yep, everybody working together.
You made that motion, Marvin?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Permission for the auditor to advertise miscellaneous county assets and set sealed bid letting for 7/7/21 at 10:30 AM. Advertise sale of
Okay, read it again.
Permission for auditor to advertise sale of miscellaneous county assets and set sealed bid letting for 7/7/21 at
Sealed bids per item. Otherwise, somebody might think you have to bid on the whole package.
That'll be in the advertisement.
Advertisement.
Okay?
Okay. That's your motion, Marvin?
Yes, it is.
Do I have a second to that?
I'll second that.
Oops, I'm putting it in the wrong line here. There we go. Travis. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Marvin?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
Jean, aye.
Ken, you got, bale racks on that 40-footer, you know, it's gonna be premium.
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. Just checking.
Next?
Utility permit 1734 is Chance Wilhelm. He wants to bore underneath County Road 20 for a water line off Southwest Water. It's right to the west of, south and west of Zap there, where, I think he bought that place where, Dale Hyde had those
Dale?
bison.
Yep.
It's his name.
Oh, okay.
I think he bought it a while ago when they had that auction, but the water line is on the south side of 20, and he wants to get
Sure.
a service line up to his, so he's got it, he'll bore it and then he'll case it the way it's supposed to be, so we just need approval.
You're okay with what
Yeah,
he's gonna do?
location's
Okay.
good and everything, yep.
Okay, so
Did you look at this?
Yeah, oh yeah, we look at everything.
It's very curious to me because I live just west of him, right?
Mhm.
That water line goes right straight through my line, my land, adjacent to his fence, which would be a straight shot over to him, so why are they going around? It
That I
doesn't
don't
matter,
know.
I was just really curious because it's,
You know, cause even on the map, it shows the main line on the south side, and it does show on yours over here to the, I don't know why he's going that way. It's probably less of a distance, that's why.
well, is it even his choice, or is that with
Yeah,
Southwest
I
Water?
I think Southwest dictates
they
where
dictate.
you get to do
I would
it.
think so.
okay, that's fine.
Yep.
I move to accept Chance Wilhelm Utility Permit 1734.
Second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Marvin?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
All vote aye.
Jean will vote aye. Rough Rider Electric Permit 1735.
Rough Rider Electric, Wayne Schmalz. This is up on the Hazen Bay Road, up on the north end there where it starts to curve before you go down to the boat ramp. They want to replace an overhead and go underneath the, to go underground. It's 2-inch. So.
And that's Rough Rider's gonna do
yeah,
that.
Power line.
Okay, you're okay with that one?
Yep.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve, the Rough Rider
Second?
electric permit.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Travis?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
Aye.
Marvin?
Aye.
Jean, aye. Pardon?
Oh, he's got to sign these.
No, I'm gonna forget. Just a minute. Oh, go ahead. I thought you were leaving. Okay, we had a question. Oh, are you done?
Well, we can do that, and then I can go over these overlay projects we got coming up.
No, we'll let you finish and then
Okay.
we'll.
We had our pre-construction meeting on Monday with Charlie and Steve Burke from Bechtold. And starting next week, if the weather holds out, they're gonna start milling portions on Hazen Bay. And then they're looking at probably, if everything goes right after Memorial Weekend to pave that portion. And they're the same ones that are doing 1806, which they're gonna start milling, I think, this week on 1806, from 200 north all the way down to the junction of County 21 and 1806. They're doing from that. It's pretty much south of the lake, so from Beulah Bay all the way over to Big City.
Wow.
But, so it'll be a busy area up there. And we are getting the millings off, a portion of the millings off of 1806, and, well, all of the stuff that comes off of Hazen Bay, which it's only like 88 tons, but we're getting a little over 2,000 tons off of that 1806 project, which is no cost to us, so.
Where are you gonna put those?
We're gonna put them down, some at the shop, and then some up by the, between the Larry Summers and the landfill on that, where we got all that other stuff stored. So, just a heads up on that, it's gonna be busy up there for next couple, 2, 3 weeks.
When are they gonna start the Hazen Bay Road?
After Memorial, they're gonna
Okay.
mill it, but they're gonna, overlay it after Memorial Weekend. If the weather holds out, who knows? I mean, it'll probably start raining, which wouldn't be a bad thing, but,
That would be good.
yeah, if that's what it takes.
Okay, there was a question on culverts, south of Crossroads on County 20.
Yeah. You had
Oh,
put
we had
in
a pipe that
box.
pulled apart
Okay,
down by Gary Beckles,
Oh.
that north-south stretch there.
yeah,
And they were 7-foot sections. We tried lifting them with the loader and it was way too unsafe. So we had to have a crane come in there and lift them, that end section up, put it together and,
it was a concrete box.
yep, concrete box. It's 7 feet and they were, when they weighed them, it was 25,000 pounds. That's what that crane showed, so. And it's on the edge like that and it's like, no way, cause then it's a steep drop off right on the,
So it was repairing that pipe?
Yeah.
and so it- Okay,
pulled apart.
yeah.
Yeah, we just saw the bill and
Just were wondering what was going on.
Yeah, they charge from the time they leave.
Oh, yeah.
Until the, you know, and then they gotta set up, and that takes a while, it takes longer to set up than it did to actually place the pipe. But what do you do?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna dump on a $300,000 loader down to drink.
Did they have a coffee break in between?
No, they, you know,
Just checking.
you know,
Keeping an
they went
eye on,
good,
right?
but
Yeah.
better than someone going through the road too, I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
Thanks, Ken.
yep.
That
Thanks.
answer your question, Mark?
You bet.
Okay, I think you satisfied our curiosity.
That's all I have.
That's all we have.
Well,
Oh, we got one more thing.
Yeah.
Expenditures?
Expenditures to date. The expenditure to date, I asked last meeting for that to be moved on here. I gave you guys a little table last time and I said, I please want someone to review that, see if my numbers are accurate. I did review it and re-review it. Sometimes you look at the same thing and you don't see differences, but I did give you guys an update just now and I'll give one to Shanna. It basically says the same thing, except for that I added back in state highway and township roads, we're actually still gonna get that, so. And this is dated, so that it's different than the one I gave you last time, so this is just information for you guys to be aware of as we do our budget times, that's all. But I'm just curious, did anybody look at it and have any questions?
No?
Silence, that's good.
You should ask Ken if his crane's name was Fight and Phil.
Fight and Phil?
Remember?
No, what's that?
Did he kill any squatters? From the mock trial.
Oh, gee, yeah, okay. That got, well, I don't recall that we had hurricane winds though, that they were blowing it over.
Yeah.
But we did, they were
You
getting
have
near
an
that.
update in your portfolio update about that. How much fun we had.
Okay, I never even thought of that. I'm not prepared for that.
yeah.
We'll get you there.
Oh,
As long as we're talking about roads, I've heard from one of the guys that works at DOT that the roundabout will start after the 4th of July.
Yep.
And then, so,
oh.
from 49 to Halliday is a mill and overlay as well.
Oh, my goodness.
So, did you hear anything about what the detour will be?
That I have
Do
not.
that because, holy cow.
Yeah, so it will be very difficult this summer to get around the county.
We're selling air,
Kidding.
Of all the plant workers.
Right.
we're selling air tickets, you know, so.
It's brilliant. That could bring us in some good cash flow.
Yeah.
Helicopter,
The plane only costs 3 million, so I mean, there's no problem. so.
It'll be recouped in a month.
Ken,
Yeah.
Holy cow.
We'll
Ken, did you
use the
hear what
county
Shannon
road.
just said? She had a good question. If we have that roundabout, now I used to run a carpool when I worked up at the plants and stuff from Bismarck.
Okay,
So those guys coming up Highway 31, most likely is where most of the people are gonna come, because 49's got the roundabout.
right.
1806, up north, those guys are gonna be doing the overlay.
Well, that'll be, that overlay up north on 1806 will be done.
Okay, but.
Their,
That'll
their
be done by
completion
July?
date is the end of, before, the 1st of July.
Okay, one of the ways around the roundabout is about 2 miles before you get to Beulah, you go north and go around, take that gravel road and go all the way around and come out by the Y.
No.
That's not a good one.
No,
There's a-
my parents live out there, and
No.
that is not a maintained road.
I know it is, I'm just saying,
I
we're
haven't
gonna
heard,
have
they
some,
they haven't said what they haven't used that as a bypass yet.
They're
They
gonna
haven't,
need to fix
yeah,
that, if that's gonna be the plan.
they haven't, they'll have a bypass right there.
What,
It'll be interesting.
that's where you put that
I was just gonna say,
re-milled
I'd say it's gonna be
pavement, you know?
landfill road,
When we
isn't
were
it?
doing 200, I learned the back road.
They're gonna put that re-milled pavement up there.
The landfill road, yeah, so
Yeah.
they'll
You-
fix it out.
Yeah, they'll
Miss-
figure it out. They'll have a bypass there. They're not
Yeah.
gonna, you know, you might have the
Oh.
person that thinks that they can go that way, but,
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean?
the plan. Okay, so I'm going to solve my
Yeah.
Indian bomb and my
Yeah.
stuff.
But, I mean, based on the,
I know-
We need to get the tractor ready, whatever if it rains, 'cause,
I know guys that use that road
oh
when
yeah,
that happened.
oh yeah, but it's,
It's not a good
East
thing.
west trip.
based on the dates, you know, hopefully, everything, there's different sections, but we all know how schedules go with
Yeah.
construction, so. I just thought I'd bring it up. It might be difficult and,
Right.
you might have alternate for what?
Roundabout project.
Starting after 4th of July, but I don't know how long.
In North Dakota, that
Well,
means
they
end
could
of
have
October.
Yeah. I mean, it's over 20 miles of road, so I,
And their batch plant, or that hot mix plant's gonna be right there on the west side of, and south of 49 and 200 there.
okay. Is that why they cleared that ground there to
That's
the west?
Mayo's,
Oh, okay.
We don't go that way.
Maybe before the transload, but, gotcha.
Just waiting.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
yeah, I could get with you. Just
I
give me a call
didn't want to
tomorrow.
interrupt you guys. Okay, do we have any other road issues?
That's it.
It's a big deal, man.
That's enough.
Okay, we're gonna take a 5-minute recess.
Oh, right.
can we just go till 10:30? 10 minutes?
No. I need at least a couple minutes.
That's 12 minutes, say yes.
Yes,
Oh, you mean recess until 12?
right,
10:30.
Oh, okay, yes.
10:30.
10:30.
Yeah, yes, we
I'm like,
Just everybody come back to this.
I can't do the 12:30, Gene.
Liza, did that information help you there?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to really look at it, you know, because, but I definitely wanna know this because it's been such a crazy year this last year.
It isn't just this year, this has been going on. I brought this up during the budget last year.
Yeah.
We've lost, if you take all these together, how much it used to be and what it is, of course, you can't look at 2021 because we don't have all the payments in yet.
Right, yep, it would be up to here,
Okay.
yeah,
So.
but
you
it just
can
keeps
see
going.
It's almost like a 13% decrease total statewide revenue. Okay? State aid has been, used to be this, now it's really close to that, but it can go down to that. State aid is a big one, that goes to a lot of different funds.
Okay,
State highway, it isn't too bad, that one is fairly consistent.
Mhm.
We're at $1 million roughly, okay?
okay.
Mineral royalties went away.
So we don't
gotta
need
let
that
it-
anymore at all?
We
huh?
will in 2 or 3 years, but we were overpaid for a while, so they said, no, we're gonna withhold your payments. So
Okay.
mineral royalties ceased. You see this drop clear to 130,000 in 2020, that's because they said, oh,
Because they overpaid us,
we're gonna
okay,
stop that. So that's gone, it's gonna stay there.
okay.
I went through all of them. Township Road and Bridge. Township, that's almost like
Oh,
they just give us so much. information.
okay,
We're unorganized, but that's
per,
what they do.
what,
And
okay,
that's for that system too. Telecom communication, that's a
That's-
one-time payment every single year.
yeah, that's a
It's the same.
consistent one,
State Game and Fish is relative, but anyhow, it gives you your trend.
right,
And you can total all of these, and you can get the overall decrease in trend. Now, this isn't COVID related, this has got to do with economy related.
mhm, so it's
Just-
always gonna be there,
Gas tax, whatever, but that's,
Mhm.
see, no, that just made me think of something else. When we're talking about recovering some funds, if we can prove that we lost revenue due to gas tax, and we have some information for that already from the DACO last year, we can probably recover a little bit more state aid. I mean, let's just say it's 5,000. 5,000 is
but to
still,
me, 5,000 actually is a huge,
I'm just, that's the point I'm making.
right,
We forgave the cities for, they pay us, 3 cities gave us $14,000, so it's 42
For
something.
the COVID time, yeah.
That should be recovered. Shannon kept a track of miscellaneous courthouse costs.
Like
because of-
masks and all
It
that.
is puny.
Right.
It's still probably $6,000-7,000. So, is it worthwhile? I think so. Shannon has to put her.
But we just wanna make sure that we have it
Yes.
all in a row, everything organized, so then that way it doesn't end up
Have to.
biting us later, yeah.
Because you and I might not be here, I won't be here probably.
No, that's not mine, this one's mine, must be Travis's. Yeah,
I picked
yeah,
it up
green
right there.
light, it's Travis's.
Anyhow, there's your debt, trying to figure
Yeah, no, I appreciate this.
some more activities.
I understood her, let's go until 10:30 and then take a break.
That's what I thought she was trying to say too, I'm like, but we have people at 10:30.
Yeah.
I was
That's why I said
confused
no.
too, Gene.
Gotta do it now.
I was confused as well.
Oh, can we break until 10:30? Sure.
I can do that.
Yeah, you're a little more strict on 5-minute breaks and stuff. I know a couple of years ago, the average break ended up being like 20 minutes.
Oh,
Did
really?
it really?
20-minute breaks.
Oh, Lord.
No, you can talk about stuff after the meeting. Meet with people after the meeting.
Zach, does the grappling quite a bit. He's been doing forward flips for, I don't know, months, and now he's figured out back more. So, he can do, we've seen him do at least 4 in a row. Like, just, he's like, whoa, we get a little dizzy now, Dad.
My kids are not allowed, just Kevin's landed on his head too many times. You're gonna break your neck, so let's stop that.
Yeah. Yeah, we did gymnastics for a session for Zach. And then we didn't do the women probably.
That is like, I mean, so good for everything.
That's right.
Like, it's kind of, strength.
Do you get the emails from Mr. Jordan
It doesn't matter what,
about the school at all?
yeah, it doesn't matter what you grow up. Even just general.
Cause he said something about the accident with the bus, so.
That email got on the Facebook page.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Which one I did.
Yeah, here, let you read it. Doesn't really give much information.
Right.
There's no life-threatening injuries.
I can press over my head more than I wave, I can't do a handstand, which I don't think.
What's all them, it's all the stability muscles.
Yeah, this. Yeah, this one's good.
Well, the most important.
Yeah. A lot of questions, yeah.
Third grader and a sixth grader. Yeah, fifth graders are the most. There's a fifth and sixth grade meeting and seventh grade. Yeah, Aiden. Last week. Okay, Wayne, you're 10 pounds heavier than I ever was in. I couldn't weigh that much until I was a sophomore in college. He's not near as active. He's not. He's not really an autistic. He's on the autistic spectrum. But, we're gonna get him into archery. Hey, you wanna learn how to hunt? Great. Something, something to bond over. Pat and take out. How you doing? Do a little driving.
I did not know that she's gonna run a report on our mock trials. So I don't have any of the paperwork with me.
Sometimes the ad libs are the best ones, Gene.
Otherwise, you can just say, I'll defer to Jessica.
Yeah, she can give the report.
Yep.
Yeah, I was driving. You know, I
We
wasn't
have a guy on our West River board.
going hard or anything like that, just
if he's at a meeting that you're at, I always say, I'll let him go first,
Got really loud.
cause he takes,
And then I heard some rattling.
I mean, like minutes, not even just notes. And by the time he gets done with his report, I just go, yeah. Well, it's like, what he said.
Cool.
Cause it is, he's very,
Well, they got that talent to do that.
Yeah.
That's very good, because
I'm a, pretty much a bad note taker, cause I sit there and I go, well, how's this even affect us? And then they're done and I'm going, what did they just say? I was trying to take their subject matter and apply it, and they're done. And I didn't write nothing down.
he's got that smart device there that hit record and let that baby do its.
Yeah.
And then you hit delete when you're done, and then go, shoot.
Is that really
Hit
what it
delete
said?
before I start.
That's what that darn button was.
Physical notes are good.
Repeat, it says delete. 2 weeks ago, the guy cell number, and, oh, okay, play it again, now. And shit, hit delete.
You're like,
Oh, it's gone.
now how do I get it?
Yeah, well, and that's all he's got is the cell, and go, oh, he's gonna have to call or something.
Yeah, you're like, I guess, have to wait for the return call.
What's that?
What's this map that they go Tyler Barnes, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Road closures.
I texted Duran, since he's kind of.
Are you an engineer for,
At this point, kind of
Coyote?
covering for
Yes, sir.
the editor.
Tyler? Okay.
But you have not heard of it.
Oh, okay, I just wanna make sure you
So
guys,
that's why I'm not telling you that.
Tyler, I wanna get your
No kids on board and no.
phone number, I'm gonna give you a call. I have a question about something that's totally unrelated to your agenda.
yeah,
Oh, who,
I generally have a
the
card.
bus incident.
that bus?
I write the field editor was issued by Duran, covering the field editor. was
Okay.
aware of the bus.
Well, all I know is there's sure a lot of, a lot of time lapse, because like I said, the deputy, he was down Christ by the cemetery, south of Billa, Billa PD, and
Cause I heard sirens.
Yeah, that's
Every couple
kind of
minutes for
station
15
one.
then finally I'm going down Chafee Road, here comes the ambulance from the north. So that took X amount of time, and then was on 200, and then finally our sheriff people were going, so that was another X amount
Yeah,
of time, and you kinda go, boy, and then finally fire and rescue was behind everybody coming, the extraction people, huh?
yeah.
Know where kind of where it's at.
No, I just happened because, I come off of 20 there and hit 49.
Right.
And right as I was coming up there to bring my little one to school, then I saw Hazen Fire and Rescue go.
Going south.
Yep,
So, yeah.
yeah, and that was around 8.
Talking about the accident this morning, I was the first one on that one this morning.
Oh, you were?
So, how far south was that?
It was probably 3 or 4 miles south of our turn at Coyote Creek there.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay,
She was coming, I think she lives right up on the gravel road, the bus driver, she was coming right across the 49
49?
to the first stop.
Oh,
It was on 49 on that
Yeah,
section.
yeah, she came
Thank you.
through and gave yield, I think is what happened, and a Tahoe.
So no kids.
No kids on the bus.
Tyler?
It's
We're
not
not
a
worried
good
about the other
start.
people, but
She got thrown out of the
That
bus.
it doesn't surprise
She was
me.
sitting in the ditch.
oh,
Yeah, she came right out the side doors of the bus.
So she got hit her side and then.
Yeah, no, it hit the other side, so she was coming through, and it hit right like that,
The passenger side.
hit the passenger side, yep. Yeah, wasn't a good sight to come upon,
That's scary, yeah,
but they're all okay,
okay.
so, from what I saw anyways.
That's what Mr. Jordan said.
Yeah, no life threatening,
Right.
yeah,
good. Wow.
Tender.
That must have been Val, huh?
that's
Yeah.
my guess, but I'm not,
Yeah.
I'll know more.
Okay.
as soon as I
Not
make
that I have to
the
be
outside.
anywhere, but.
No, but our
Check on her.
clock on the wall says 10:30, even though it's about a minute and a half fast. So we're gonna resume our meeting. Tyler Barth with Coyote Creek Mining Company. You are next on the agenda.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Thank you for your time today. First reason I guess we're here today is to discuss the temporary road closure in section 31 and 36. In 2016, Coyote Creek Mine approached this commission to temporarily close that road. The road passes through Mr. Casey Voigt's land here in section 31 and then southeast of 36, and then these 3/4 are the state's land. That time the commission granted the petition to temporarily close that road, and
Which road? Is it on there?
as part
Okay.
of that resolution, they signed an agreement with Coyote Creek Mine. And I've handed out that, the resolution, and then that agreement is on, right behind it. I've given updates on this road before, but I thought I'd go a little more in detail, as most of the commission hasn't heard that update before. That agreement that we signed with the commission then, that designated affected landowners, people who lived around the area that traveled that road. We discussed how we'd still provide access with them with temporary trails. That agreement also has the safety requirements that they needed to have in order to travel those routes then. In 2016, we presented this exhibit. It's the second to last page on that packet I handed out to you. But that was our plan of how we would provide access as we mined through that road. And you could see the first step was to move this road down to the south, and then we had a plan to reroute some of this stuff to the north, and then the final location as how we saw in 2016. Today, our current road is this red line here. Here was the original, just for reference. So we're really still at step number 2. We're a little further behind than on the process that we thought we would. As far as when we laid that out, we thought we'd be moving north further. We actually, even step 2, rather than moving it all the way down to this south corner, we did it, I think this is about the 3rd time we are on that road. We've moved it kind of in steps to maximize the amount of grass and grazing to the south of that. This summer, the plan is now to move this road to the north. So we're gonna, by the end of this summer, we plan to close this road, move that access trail to the north here. We're in the middle of constructing it yet, and we will put surfacing material on it, and then we'll direct the traffic to the north. Mr. Voigt is the biggest person affected, I guess, by this road. We've been in contact with him about when we are gonna move that road. The others that travel through, nobody else has the safety requirements that Casey does, so everybody else needs an escort other than him. So there are some that move cattle through there throughout the summer, and we escort them. Other than that, when we do a road relocation like this, we are in contact with Casey, because he's the only one that's got the safety requirements to travel that road by himself at this point. That's the update on these temporary access roads. But also in that agreement, I think it's item 4 on page 4, we discussed the permanent location of that road when we completed mining through that area. Back in 2016, that road, and in this agreement, it was stated that that road would be built on the quarter line. And then item number 5 says the county shall secure the right-of-way easements necessary to construct that road. That's kind of how it was left back then. Obviously, the quarter line makes sense because it's a nice straight line. It's in between. But now here we are 5 years later, we looked at that road, the quarter line, we visited with both Mr. Voigt and we met with the state of North Dakota, and we kind of all decided that that's probably not the best place to put a minimum maintenance road. If you look at the quarter line, there's a steep drain here that you'd have to cross. There's there's three other drains, so there's 4 drains you would have to cross, culverts that you would have to build, big fills, steeper areas. And being a minimum maintenance road, our first contact was Casey. He's the one that travels most of that. He said he'd prefer it being on the top of the ridge line. It has less chance of being blown shut, anything like that. He'd prefer basically in the original location. We looked at the post topography, and was basically the hilltop before this original road. The hilltop now is kind of this red route. We met with the state a month ago and proposed that location to them, and they agreed that that was the best place as well. So I guess that would be our recommendation going forward. We don't need easements quite at this time, but we would like to work with your engineering firm when we do easements. Our recommendation, as well as, I don't want to speak for Mr. Voigt, but he can jump in if he has, would be, a slight bend, maybe real close to the original location rather than the quarter line. The reason I was approaching you today on this is because we are getting close to reclaiming up to that quarter line. So although we don't have the easements and we won't have them yet, we'd like to reclaim through that quarter line if the commission doesn't have a problem with not building the road on that quarter line. If you're all in agreement kind of with our recommendation, we'd reclaim through that, respread the topsoil, subsoil, start planting grasses, that kind of stuff sooner. If your plan would be to go try to get easements on the quarter line, then we have to leave a strip of bare dirt in the middle there to leave that open.
Well, we would definitely take what you went to the state, and they're okay with this, and Mr. Voigt, you're okay with their plan?
This is what I requested.
Okay. I respect that way more than, because from me, I don't even know the terrain or the area. So that would make more sense to have your opinion on it than mine. So.
And not just my opinion, my neighbors all.
Okay, and they're all pretty much okay with this?
I can't say everybody, but.
Okay, sure.
Mr. Chairman, hate to dampen the sound a little bit, but, if I remember right, this comes right out on county, that quarter line comes right out on County 13.
Correct.
So we got a paved road coming off of 49, which is the state road, and we have a federal aid road 13 over here. And way back, sheriff at one time says, how come don't you, the county, have a road, a good constructed road as a cut across road across here? Well, because cost but when you look at it today, we have a road that is coming from the east. This could improve travel in that particular area for fire and rescue and those types of things. But it's, if it is, now's the time to do it. If not, we will go with basically a trail in there, and it'll be back to what it at one time was. But you're coming, like I said, you're coming off a nice paved road. I know you got big drainage in there. There's no doubt about that, and that was an issue at that time. I mean, so just something for the board to just think about it a little bit.
Where is, and just for me to get my head more wrapped around this, where would 49 be in? Way off to which direction?
Straight out
To the east.
Way to the right.
Our mine is right here, that paved road goes 4 miles to
Oh.
the east.
Oh, it's, okay, so your paved road
49.
is another mile
Correct.
north almost, right? Yeah, that's,
Half a mile, yeah, 3/4 of a mile. Our
Okay.
paved road is right off the map, it would be right up here.
That's
oh,
an east-west road you're talking about.
Correct.
Yes.
That's that 4 mile stretch off of 49, and then there's
Oh.
this road runs off.
Well, then, let me back up, I apologize. I was on the wrong road. I was thinking it was that paved road, the continuation of that paved road, so I
Okay, the
apologize.
49,
This goes through,
Yeah,
and we're looking at this stretch.
right,
right there.
Oh, okay.
and Highway 49 is way over here
Yeah,
yet.
4 miles
Yep.
from this
Okay,
point, so
okay.
another 2 miles off the map.
We're almost straight south of Zap there, huh?
You are straight south of that.
Yep,
Okay,
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is,
about
County
8
Road
miles.
13 is right here.
yep,
okay. I don't have all the numbers memorized where they are.
yeah.
So. You
So,
can drive the roads more.
So-
According to our agreement, it's very specific about where it should be, so I think we need to modify our agreement
Okay.
to reflect that, to formalize it.
Okay.
So it seems everybody's okay with deferring to that, but I think we'll need to amend the agreement to specify.
Where we would like the
Yeah,
location.
so-
The different road location.
I think, I don't think necessarily you need to leave the dirt strip you were talking about, but to
Correct.
formalize it, I think
Okay.
we need to do that.
And you're mining north to south or south to north on that, in that area?
North to south through that
North to
area.
south.
Okay.
So this, just for reference, this area, that's why this line is kind of goofy. This is reclaimed to the north here. Our pits are right here. We're about ready to hit this line here, so we will continue mining through here. So
Okay.
we'll use this road for the next year or two, and then at that point, we'd be still, like the agreement says, by 2024, so sometime in late 22, so 23, we'll probably build the permanent road now in this proposed
Maybe we want it, it
location.
could be as simple as the parties agreed to amend that paragraph for the reconstructed road to reflect this and attach it as an exhibit.
Okay.
I mean, something just so that we can
I definitely,
formalize.
Refer back
Yep.
to it, yeah.
Understanding that this is not exactly a meets and bounds sort of thing.
Correct.
But that would at least give you guys some assurance, and formalize it going forward.
That this is where we want.
Yep, yeah.
I was gonna mention the same thing. She said, you want a new description? I want a map, a picture. And what she just
Yeah,
said.
because obviously, until you really get to it, we can't legally describe it yet.
Right.
But at least this would give everybody more on the same page to go forward.
Okay.
And it was, state-owned land or section 36,
This
so,
corner is Mr. Boyd's, this is the state's.
okay, so we'd have easements
Oh.
from both entities then?
Correct.
To secure.
Okay, you mentioned that you'd like to work with our engineer to set those right-of-way easements. Okay, that's gonna, you guys can correct me, but I think that's a cost to our county for our engineer to go up and work with you on that. How are we gonna work, how does that work?
I believe they pay for that.
Right, in the past, I think we've worked with them, helped the design, I mean, we do most of the work, get their sign off, and we.
But
pay
our
the bill.
engineer costs to help you
Are
with your road, you guys.
Covered by us,
You'll reimburse that?
yes.
I want that.
That we don't even get billed for it. This is, and that's been normal protocol for years.
I think what he's trying to tell us is, he's just formally telling us they will use our engineer to do
Yeah,
this.
they'll work with our,
And,
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
work with our engineer rather than get a different engineer in.
I just don't want our engineer.
The bill will come to us, correct?
Thank you.
Yes.
They'll have agreement.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, so we need an amend the agreement that was made back in,
Yeah.
between, what, Jessica and
Yeah,
Coke.
I'm sure you'll have Chris or somebody.
Yeah,
get in
we'll,
touch with me to
yep,
finalize it, yeah.
yep.
And then
Okay.
we'll present it back later.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So we
Again, again, I apologize, I was in the wrong, I was further north, so sorry about that.
we're doing a motion to postpone this until we get
Yeah, we'll,
an updated agreement?
Yeah, I don't think we need.
We don't even need to- we won't even-
We'll
Okay.
we'll just, have you come back at a later meeting, and then we'll,
Yeah, we'll have our land department work
yeah, which will
on
probably
the agreement,
be
the amended agreement.
pretty quick.
So none of this then is gonna take place today, the temporary closing petitions?
That we
That's
plan to do,
separate,
yeah,
That's separate, right? Okay. Okay, so that you still need to, okay. So this we still need to discuss,
correct.
okay? Haven't gotten there yet. So you want a
Okay,
motion on
the-
this?
No.
No,
No,
we
no
don't.
motion.
Just put it back on.
Yep. Just get a hold of you and the amendments
Yeah.
out there. Perfect.
So in other words, you informed us of what you'd like to do.
Right, there you go.
Bring us the amended form. Okay.
Okay, I'll take this portion of it then. My name's Jeremy Ackroth. Good morning.
Morning, Jeremy.
We are here to petition for the closing of the public roads, shown in blue on the map here. The roads that we're looking at are the,
Section line.
or section line, yeah,
There's no road.
closing the section lines. It's really not a road, but we're looking at the east-west section line between the west half of the southeast quarter of section 6, township 142 north, range 88 west, and the west half of the northeast quarter of section 7, township 142 north, range 88 west. And then the east-west section line road between the southwest quarter of section 6, township 142, range 88 west, and the northwest quarter of section 7, same township and range. And then the north-south section line road between the southwest quarter of section 6, township 142 north, range 88 west, the southeast quarter of section 1, township 142 north, range 89 west. And then the last portion would be the north-south section line road between the north half of the northwest quarter of section 7, township 142 north, range 88 west, and the north half of the northeast quarter of section 12, township 142 north, range 89 west.
And this
And-
is not actually a road, this is a section line?
Just section lines, correct,
Okay.
yeah.
Is there even trails on them? Or what's
Not really.
No.
So here it says petition for closing roads, it's petition for closing section line.
Section lines, yeah.
Okay,
Under the century code, section lines are thrown into the road definition.
Okay.
Oh.
It officially is closing a road.
okay.
Yeah.
It's a right of travel, yeah,
Right.
so.
Prescription easement from statehood.
Where is this in perspective of where your previous
Just south.
presentation was? South of Waves?
We were right here, and we're just down.
Okay,
This is state land, Mr. Boyd's land. The Winklers own some of this down here, that's state as well, but
was any of this section line used for travel?
No.
By the local?
no, it's
Okay.
fenced as the ones.
Well, cause sometimes we drive on unimproved section lines to access pasture or,
Right.
and this won't affect, I'm looking at Casey.
Yeah, no, I know.
This won't, won't,
Those lines are not used for access.
okay.
Is this getting into the really hilly country and whatnot? We're getting down.
Yeah,
there
way
where it's-
to the south there,
Yeah.
there's some big hills and, yeah, and this piece is Perry Winkler's, and all the rest is either Mr. Voigt's or he rents it at this time, correct?
Where's Perry's?
The
His
very
is
far
just
right
the-
corner.
The northeast of
Yep.
7, and then the rest is rented by, or
Okay.
owned by Mr. Voigt.
And that dashed line is your permit boundary?
Correct.
Okay.
And is there any anticipation as to how long they would be closed, or is it a permanent closure?
It
Till,
would- yeah.
till we're mined and reclaimed through there, not a
Reclaimed.
permanent closure.
Oh.
10+ years.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
That's
we'll-
rough.
He's
today we're just
optimistic.
accepting the petition, it all looks in order, and then we set the public hearing on it.
Oh, okay.
So we'll still do our landowner notification, publish it in papers, and then come back.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So we need a motion to,
Is June 16th
Nope.
enough time to give you all of your, to meet all your requirements?
Yes.
Yeah,
That'll
yep.
work.
We'll have to
So
publish,
Two
we need a
weeks.
and that
motion
gives
to
us 10
accept
days.
Correct.
Petition and, set the public hearing.
Set the public
Or
hearing.
did you want it sooner?
I don't think
I don't
we
think-
can meet the yeah.
Okay.
Who's making that motion?
Is there a certain time usually?
10:30.
10:30. I'll move to accept the petition with the public hearing to be on June 16th at 10:30.
Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
I'm gonna wait for her to get done writing it up and have her read it back.
I move to accept the petition with the public hearing to be held, June 16th at 10:30.
Do you have a title to this petition or a number
No,
that you can reference, or we just use the word petition?
We just use the word petition. This will all be printed in the minutes, all of the, what they're petitioning to close.
Okay.
That's the wrong one, Marvin.
I know, I don't see my other one.
Oh, I rounded it out right
It-
before the meeting.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right there.
there you go.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you much.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, Travis?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
Yep, I
Marvin?
mean,
Marvin?
Aye.
Gene, aye. I took the up as an aye.
we're gonna get rain, I can tell.
Is that what's going on?
Yep,
Okay?
Some people's knees hurt, you just get funny. Okay.
I really appreciate that Casey showed up, because I really like to hear from the affected landowners how this affects them.
Well,
Yep.
some of you guys weren't here, Wayne, you'll remember, this was a difficult one to get through, so it's nice to see forward that
yes, yes.
it's going well. I'm glad to see that.
So thank you for
We
being here.
appreciate Casey being here as well.
Yeah.
We've been trying to better our communication, and this is part of it. Everybody showing up at the meeting together.
Anything else?
I don't believe so.
That's all we had.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
Till we see you
Thank
on,
you.
when, June?
June
16th.
16th. Okay,
Thank you for your time.
you bet, thank you. Social Services Building.
We need Jim.
Is he gonna be here in time or?
Yeah. Is he readily available? We were gonna wait for our state's attorney to give us an opinion on the building.
Did you wanna come in during social services? Oh, you don't have nothing to say? Oh, okay.
All right then.
We're gonna talk about it then. Okay.
Okay,
Just wanted to-
Social Services Building. We'd ask for your opinion on basically what we can do with it and how to go forward with it.
You can sell it just like you would anything else, the only question would be if we're gonna do a realtor, which there's a whole process and whatnot, but I didn't think that was the route you wanted to go anyway.
Not at
And try to
first, we
post
wanted
it
to
right
try
away.
and,
So,
or that's what I
yeah.
thought, I understood it as, is that we would prefer not to have a realtor involved if we didn't need to.
Okay,
How do we determine appraised value?
They already had
We have a taxable value,
Jen
but
looked at
not
it,
appraised.
We had a market value
160.
put on by the tax director's office, going through their system, they put the square footage in there and the year it was built, and the obsolescence that the rest of the city of Stanton gets for businesses, and it came to 166,000.
Okay,
So, in the last time we did the Golden Valley House, I don't know if Marvin was here,
yeah, it was.
we did sealed bids on that, right?
I think
And it
so.
was to the highest bidder, I don't know if we
About
wanna-
3 times.
Yeah, I don't know if we wanna go that route, or can we set a minimum price on it, or how does?
I think so.
well, we can,
There's no real,
we can just ask for sealed bids and we can reject all bids too.
Right.
Even if we don't wanna set a minimum.
But then we might continuously reject it all the time.
And continuously be
Well-
advertising.
you
Right.
could put in the notice of what the market value is.
That's a good suggestion.
Jessica, did you see the email I sent you regarding that?
Yeah,
Do you remember?
remind me though.
Okay, so basically, what I suggested to her, and I was gonna bring it up in front of the commission too, but, if we did the sealed bids, and what I've seen with other real estate type, auctions, is you would do sealed bid, and then the top 3 bidders would have the ability to raise their bid in the open meeting. So, you know, if there was three that bid the minimum, they would have the ability to raise it until we found who actually wanted it the most. And my question was, is that legal or is that acceptable from the county standpoint?
It seems to me we
I-
have to,
It seems to me, I don't think we can.
Yeah.
it
Because
has
I
to be
think,
one or the other. It either needs to be a true auction or sealed.
yeah,
And that's up to this board to decide how, we can do it auction style, but we have to make that decision, we can't do both, I don't think.
Right.
You can't do an auction on the three top bidders.
right.
Is that what you're
Private
saying?
sales and things
Private
like
sales, yeah,
that.
I've seen it from the private side, never
Yeah.
from the,
But for the, for us, it's one or the other, and then we have to just properly notice it.
First, I want to talk about the market value. Is everybody comfortable with the market value of 106,000?
66.
66.
166.
Is everybody comfortable with that? Is that what we want to start with, is,
I don't know. That's part of why I mentioned about if we wanna put in like a minimum bid.
we can do like Jessica says, we can list it, market value is this, and then we don't need to put in a minimum bid, they're just gonna bid it, whatever it is, it is.
But then I have got way too much to ask and discuss. The rest of the commission, how do they feel about getting rid of this property? And let's say we get a bid that's much lower than 166. Are we still, or is that what we're gonna do, is say, no, we're gonna reject any bid lower than, I'll use the 166 number, I'll stick with
Well,
it.
and I think that's what you can address. If you list the fair market value, that'll give the public some indication of what it's valued at. Buyers can still put in whatever they want, and then it'll be up to you. I mean, potentially you could reject all bids, or maybe you get a bid for 150 and you say, you know what, we're gonna take it. So it doesn't set a minimum bid, but gives indication of the ballpark. And then you can decide what you wanna do, cause there might be all sorts of things, sometimes can have contingencies or whatever the heck it might be, you know?
You're gonna get the ones that bid $500 or.
Yeah,
Right.
We've
yeah,
seen that.
yeah.
But that way it opens, it actually gives you guys a little bit more, hopefully, to work with, cause then you can really decide what do we wanna do?
I agree with
In the long run, what is it worth to keep it and all those things, but that way at least, cause otherwise you might set the minimum bid and somebody might have been close to it and decide not to do it and they're right under.
Right,
We
like,
lost it,
After we get the bids, then
yeah,
we decide the next step, because that helps us with that thought process.
right,
We've crossed one hurdle.
right,
yeah, cause just because we got 5 bids in doesn't mean we have to accept any one of them.
right, exactly.
Yes, okay.
and we don't have to make a decision at that point in time either, we can,
Well, I think you have 30 days or.
that's what I
Right,
mean.
yeah,
but it-
and there's no counter after, so when we take the sealed bid, it is what it is, so there's no going back and negotiating, but you guys can reflect on which, you wanna do.
Okay, I think we got a general consensus here then, of an understanding. Okay,
Are there any,
I would say we advertise it then as,
is, correct?
sealed bids, and
I'll run the advertisement.
We can read-
Before I stick it in the paper.
we can reject any and all bids, and we can, in the advertisement, put in there that it's been not appraised, but,
Market value.
Yeah.
the fair market value price, is it 166 or 160?
166.
166. And then, we take it from there. Is that?
So we just need a date as to when the bids need to be in.
is
Do we
that-
wanna,
Should put a for sale sign in the.
And everybody's okay with that?
I think so.
Okay.
Can you put a for sale sign in the yard with your phone number on it?
Then we can take a picture of you putting it in and we'll post it on our page.
Yeah, there we go.
Would it make sense to tie it in with the other asset stuff that we talked about earlier in the meeting?
No.
Or do you wanna
Just
do
be its
different?
own advertisement.
I mean, yeah, it'd be its own advertisement.
He means
but
like the same day.
Same day, or do we
Oh.
wanna, I guess I don't know how much time it would take on one of these, but,
It doesn't, you open them and you make the decision really.
right,
Pretty-
So
He means
For the
Like
public,
people to be
yeah,
able to
you know,
know.
if it was
I
that,
don't think we have to publish a set minimum
no,
for this kind of stuff, but I
Okay.
plan on running the advertisement twice.
I think it would be good
be okay?
Yeah.
Are there any specials against this building right now?
Anyway.
Specials?
There would be the city specials, right?
No, we paid them.
Oh, that's right.
So the question that I have is, okay.
We
do
paid them when we
when-
paid
when-
all of our specials.
When we list this advertisement, do we wanna list, I wrote down just a couple things. The year built, do we wanna list that?
Yeah,
Specials, no specials, we can advertise that, that helps sell, right?
and the square footage.
Square footage and address.
I don't know the address, but I'll get it.
Is there anything else that we should have? And the words as is that agreeable with everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely as is, that
Built
one.
in 1985 and 3,100 square feet.
I know sometimes as is kinda, okay, what's wrong? Why
That,
as
I
is?
know, that's,
But yes,
But if
we're
you
not gonna
don't-
make improvements.
Yeah.
It's not even 40 years old.
We're not gonna put new rugs in there.
We can do a picture and put it on the website and our Facebook page too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that would help.
And that's June,
16.
No, it was the July 7th, or
July 7th.
July
yeah.
7th,
yeah.
so.
Oh, the road was the 16th.
Yep.
Yep.
July 7th at 10:30.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna do the same, exact same time, all right, sure.
Can I get a motion on that?
so I'll make a motion that we
Advertise.
have the auditor advertise to sell our social services building as discussed with sealed bids due deadline of July 7th, 10:30 a.m.
Do we want the seal bids here by 10:30? We'll have the opening of the bids by 10:30,
No,
but,
we will make a motion to close at 10:30 and then we open after that.
Yeah,
okay.
so.
So someone can walk in with a bid at 10,
29.
okay?
29.
All right,
Yep.
I just want that clear in my head.
That's why I haven't double checked email.
Sorry, I didn't ask for a second and I'm already discussing.
It's all right.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you.
And we've had it before, Gene, where actually it was in the mail, but it wasn't in this room at 10:30.
Okay.
So it's very specific. And I'll let Shanna read the motion back,
I
please.
was waiting for her to finish writing. I was gonna
Right.
say.
Okay. Auditor advertised to sell social service building as discussed for bid let. Just and set bid letting on July 7th at 10:30 a.m.
Okay, and let's write down what was discussed.
I have that in my notes.
Okay.
Year built, no special, square footage as is, and then we'll add a picture on the website and Facebook page.
And market value.
And market value.
Yep, I have that up here, sorry.
Yep.
Okay, any other discussion? Where did I write it down? Right here. Marvin, how do you vote?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Liza?
Aye.
Wayne?
I'll vote aye.
Gino vote aye. Marvin sounded hesitant. Okay, gets us right down to state's attorney update.
Well, we have Craig.
What?
At
Where?
11, you're supposed to
Oh.
have Craig.
This jumping up and down gets me. Sorry. Craig. You're on.
Want you to know this is turning out to be a long, short meeting.
I noticed that.
Okay, there's a few things I want to discuss with you as a commission today. I'm handing out some documents of some different things that are occurring with the county regarding to the drought situation that I want you all to be aware of. The first copy you have is of the water quality testing that's occurring. That is the April report. There'll be a May report coming out with more locations of water quality testing. This is for livestock water, obviously. I can tell you that the May report looks more dismal than what this report is in the county. I was out sampling yesterday and found another 2 or 3 hot spots. Nothing at the stage of not recommended for use, but we are definitely in the warning stages in some of these places for water in the county, and I think most producers don't have a true good understanding of how critical this is. So I just want you as a commission to be aware of it. The situations and decisions that these ranchers make in the next 30 days, if it doesn't rain significantly, and everybody says, well, it's gonna rain, half inch to an inch is better than nothing, but it isn't gonna get us out of this critical situation that we're in. We need like 5 or 6 inches in the next 2 months to get us out of the drought situation that we're currently in. That's how critical of an issue this is. So I just want to make it known that producers obviously need to be looking at forages, but water is going to be probably the critical factor that is even going to be worse than feed sources as we move throughout the summer. The pasture conditions that I were in yesterday are poor. Cattle are out on these pastures. I know it's extremely hard for these producers to not turn their cattle out onto pasture at this time, but if we can delay that for another 3 weeks to a month, that is going to help us greatly if they have the ability to do that. So water is an issue. We have testing ability in my office. They can bring samples to me and I can test them. And this goes for the people out there that have their pet horses out on pasture and all this stuff too. It affects them too. So not all different species of animals are affected by this. The next one is a government program that is available to livestock producers. It's called this LFP program. Some producers are aware of this, some of them are not, just making the commission aware of this.
What's LFP?
It's the livestock forage program. Producers can get payments through the federal government, through their FSA office to help with assistance on this. So all livestock producers are eligible. Most of us think it's cattle producers, but it's sheep producers. It's horse producers if they're raising horses for commercial use. So that would be if they are raising them for breeding stock or racing industry or something like that. Don't have any in the county that I know of, but llamas, alpacas, reindeer, all those things fit into this here. They can get up to, we're in a level 4, meaning that we are already, based upon the drought monitor situation that we're in, we can get up to 4 payments on this. NDSU Extension has what they call a livestock forage payment calculator, so producers can go in and type in their information to see what kind of payments they can get. Some of the documentation that they'll need to have, the way this works is they're going to have documentation of how many cattle they have. They will get a payment per each individual age of cattle. So cows will pay a certain amount. If calves are over 500 pounds, that'll pay a certain amount. There's many different factors. You'll either get paid on the amount of cattle you have or how much pasture you have, okay? So the way that works, if you have 100 head of cattle, but you only have 100 acres of pasture under your ownership, you're gonna get paid on 100 acres of pasture on what's called an animal unit, and for Mercer County, that's 8 acres per animal unit. So that 8 acres is a figure that they figure of how much acres a cow needs to survive from the grazing season, which is considered May 1st to October 1st. So that factor is 8. So if you have 100 head of cattle, you need at least 800 acres of pasture. If you only have 500 acres of pasture, you don't meet that qualification. You're not going to get paid on 100 head. You're only going to get paid on like about 80 head then.
Is
But
that
anyway,
on pasture you operate or
it's on
pasture you own?
it's on pasture that you own or operate. So if you have lease agreements, you have to bring in that documentation. If you are renting from your sister and it's always been on a handshake negotiation process, that isn't gonna work. You're gonna have to get something in writing where there's both signatures. So they're gonna want proof of ownership, or on any property that you lease or rent, you're gonna have to have some type of rental agreement to
I
show
just asked that 'cause
ownership on that.
You mentioned several times, land that you owned, so.
Yeah, sorry,
Because
yeah.
if you got 100 head,
You're right.
and 100 acres, you will be leasing.
Right,
Some
yeah.
land.
And if you own animals on share, some of them, some operations, 50% belong to me, 50% belong to my brother, you're going to have to document that out, because only one person will get the payment. So, anyway, there's a lot of, but it's available, to producers to sign up. If they have any questions, they can call me and we can work through that. Just yesterday, USDA, Farm Service Agency, sent out a publication that emergency haying and grazing has been approved. The haying, you'll have to wait until after, I can't remember the exact date, I believe it's July 15th, but grazing for CRP is open immediately. You just have to bring in the documentation to FSA, obviously, so that is available. If it's most people don't have a fence around their CRP, but if they do, that is available to them to get emergency grazing. So that is just opened up as of yesterday. There is some stipulations and things to it on that too, but they can call me with those information. Okay, so that's kind of some of the government programs that we're dealing with. On the livestock side is what I'm most concerned about now, because, like I said, the decisions that they make here in the next 30 days is going to affect their operations for the next 12 months. On the crop side, most of our crops are in. Small grains are in, soybeans, corn, I would say 65% of them are in, sunflowers and pinto beans and things like that, about 50% of them are in. Small grains, some of them have been in as far as, well, some of them have probably been in for almost 6 weeks already. The germination is extremely poor, very uneven. So that is obviously drought stressed, so we have situations occurring there that we're gonna have to deal with, but if we get rain, those crops will recover soon. But our pastures, even if we get an inch of rain here in the next week, the recovery is still gonna be extremely slow. The next thing, I guess, is I just wanna talk about some field events that we have coming up. We do have a field tour day coming up on Wednesday, June 2nd. Out by Golden Valley, we're going to be talking about some controls and weed control options in pastures. We'll be talking about water quality that I had talked about already. Some of the things that we can talk about in water quality. The biggest concern that we have right now is sulfates. Most people think in water it's nitrates, but the sulfates is what's killing us right now, and the readings are becoming extremely high in certain spots. So producers need to be aware of that. And then the total dissolved solid testing also. Lots of information I could give you on that, but I don't want to take up all your time. We are doing some garden tour things with the community garden behind the office. On May 22nd, we'll be doing an open community garden forum for the public, or May 26th, excuse me, we'll do that. And then we also, some other extension things that are occurring. We'll have a cooking school for the kids on June 3rd and 10th. I'll be doing a lawnmower safety class on June 8th for the kids. So those are some of the events that are occurring. Let's see here. Brought a lot of, on this page, on their next page here is the drought monitor. The last release was done on May 11th. There will be a new report that'll come out tomorrow. 98% of the state is in some type of drought. I'm guessing probably tomorrow that'll be upgraded to 100%. The whole state will be under some type of drought rating. This rating is done through our state climatologist. We also, this gets into a national system. Agents from across the state put information into this drought monitor to develop this report. And on the last page is a little bit of a summary that he put together. Like I said, 98% of the state is in a drought. 85% is in what's considered an extreme drought, which is the red. So it's not just Mercer County, it's pretty much statewide. So that kind of just backs up what I was saying earlier. One final thing, about a year ago, we came here to the commission to ask for funding for support of filling the FCW position in our office, which was formerly held by Dina Kemick. After a year of work and process, I can announce today, not officially, but it's probable that we will be able to actually get to the stage where we'll actually start to be able to advertise for her position. The official announcement will actually come tomorrow. From what my district director told me, they will have a conference call tomorrow and we'll get the official announcement, but my district director told me as of yesterday, it looks very, very promising, but we don't have the final approval yet. So that's where we're at. So there's some positive news on that front. It's been exactly a year since Dina's left that position, so we'll be able to move forward and hopefully be able to refill that position very soon in the near future.
Define FCW.
Family, community, wellness.
Thank you.
So that's kind of what I have for my quarterly report. I know I kind of covered a lot of information here, but that's what I wanted to bring forward to you today to just kind of, I know you all know it's dry, but how critical of a situation that we're in, and hopefully we can move through the process. And there is some assistance to producers out there. Some know about it, some obviously don't. So with that, if anybody's got any questions. Okay. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, Craig.
Now, can we go to number 7
Yes.
on the agenda?
You're getting more careful there.
I have to. I am so
guess I'm
sorry.
sorry.
That I missed Craig on there.
Yeah. Now that, I always get confused because there's so many different funding sources, but that money was approved at the last budget situation to fill Dina's old position of the family consumer wellness position. So that, the funds are there on the commissioner or on the county's side to move forward for the hiring process. I looked at it in the budget yesterday, but I just want to get confirmed that that money is there until the next budget. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it was there. Okay, thank you.
Pretty important.
Okay, state's attorney update.
She's getting a
Chairman,
big road.
Commissioners, Mercer County. I'm excited to announce that I've accepted a position as an administrative law judge at the Office of Administrative Hearings. My last day with Mercer County will be June 30th. For over 10 years, I've proudly served the county in which I was born and raised, and it has been an absolute honor to do so. In my time here, the county has seen significant developments and changes. I've been incredibly proud to be a part of some. Others have been difficult. It's been both a blessing and a curse to know the citizens I serve as well as I do. There's a lot happening right now in Mercer County. In the criminal arena, I've made over 350 court appearances this year, and we've had over 130 new criminal cases filed. On the commission side, we're on the verge of budget season, which has grown into an increasingly stressful process. But given my experience, I know there's never an ideal time to leave or even to take a break, but the timing is right for me now to move on personally and professionally. Some words of advice while I still can. I ask you all to recognize the tremendous responsibility and 24/7 commitment my replacement will take on. The role of a rural state's attorney is often uncomfortable and awkward, to put it nicely. Over the years, it's been the support I've received from members of the public, co-workers, and others that has overcome the attacks of a few. The dedication to this county shown by many of my fellow officials and co-workers is tremendous, and I'd like to thank those that have been supportive and encouraging during my time. To that end, please extend support and constructive criticism to my replacement, rather than condemnations and attacks, which only make an already incredibly challenging job a very difficult one. I encourage everyone to focus on the common goal, which is to serve Mercer County and recognize each other as teammates and not enemies. I'm once again confident in many members of this board and believe the best interests of Mercer County, its residents, and its employees will once again become the primary concern of this board, as it should be. While my time here has not always been easy, it's been rewarding, and I'm grateful for the knowledge and experience I've gained, which has now been recognized and I will utilize in my new position. So I wish each of you the best, as well as Mercer County as a whole.
Congratulations.
Wow, thank you for,
That's
And-
huge.
I definitely, hope the best for you also.
Thank you.
When is your last date?
June 30th.
June 30th.
Is it okay to get a copy of that letter?
Yeah.
You're very well
You
put.
want me to frame it?
No? I can notarize it for you.
So, with that, you probably need to
We
set.
need to appoint.
Yep, process you just went through with Brenda, same process for my position.
How can we do that?
Right.
Am I gonna haul
There's some
water?
minimum
I was
requirements,
gonna-
like a law degree.
How can we do that?
That'll
without
have to,
hauling water?
have to be included.
And they have to be a qualified elector in the county? Okay.
Correct.
Not at the time of application, but at the time of starting.
Right.
What happens if we don't have a state's attorney by June 30th?
We'll deal with that if need be.
Light squad.
Cause this is rather quick for us.
6 weeks. Okay, May 19th. I'm gonna get the paper by Friday, so it will publish on the 27th and the 3rd of June. If the board wants to do interviews the week of June 7th. And select a candidate that week, 2 weeks' notice would bring somebody on the 28th of June. It's
Good
a
thing
big
you tapped.
position, I don't know if we wanna advertise less than 2 weeks, but I don't know how many qualified applicants
No, I
we're
think you
actually
need
gonna
to.
get.
Yeah.
Point of reference, when I took over, I walked in and had no clue. I mean, there was no training or nothing. I mean, we're trained to be lawyers, and so there wasn't, I mean, when you're elected, you take office and you take office, so. It'd be my intention to, after this meeting, I'm gonna be letting, the court know, so they got a heads up, and looking at scheduling some stuff and whatnot, you know. But I did a trial 3 weeks after I was in. I had 80 court appearances the first month I was here, so I'll do my best. That's not exactly the situation I walked into, but I'll do my best to.
You're gonna take starts at 28th, that just gives them a couple days under your wing,
Yeah.
just to probably, and you don't have court, I presume on the 30th, right?
and the tenth, because seventh and eighth, and
And it depends on how many applicants we got.
We have to have applicants, that's correct,
Yeah, and I have, I mean,
because of
Yeah.
the qualifications.
Right.
And we may get
What do you want for a start date?
July first.
July.
But do we want them to aid in the transition and orientation? Do you wanna possibly have them a week earlier?
See if they're available, I don't know.
So that's part of the advertisement though, see, it could be.
we usually don't put a start date in the advertisement.
No, cause it'll be
We
it's
can-
an exempt position to fill the unexpired term, and my term would end June thirtieth, so theirs would be July first, and we can look at that when we get to it.
When we interview, we can ask, if, what date they could start work.
And we probably need a minimum starting wage in the advertisement, like we did for.
So, you're gonna advertise, can we, do interviews, the tenth?
Yep.
That work for you guys?
Does the tenth work for the rest of the commissioners?
Just
far as
for
I know.
myself.
Today. Yes.
Okay, June tenth. Interviews.
Can we put, just a thought, rather than picking a starting wage, depending on what we get for qualification, let's say we get someone that's been in county government for 10 years and worked for 3 different counties, their wage would be completely different than
I agree.
step 3, so be commensurate on experience.
Or just not-
DOE,
Or yeah, just don't put anything in there.
salary DOE.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think that would be the
You
best
guys
way
all
to
have a copy of the salary chart?
Mhm.
Somewhere.
You gave it to us
Yeah.
previously.
is that the 10-year or the 20-year?
It's the 20, it's the original one from.
Tanya?
Yep.
The one you gave us that said we're using was the 10, our
Well,
county
it-
adopted
it
a
is,
10-year.
But then it's just cut in half. I just didn't cut it in half, cause this
Okay.
was a PDF. But,
Is this an
Speaking of
extra
that,
one?
no, you can have that, I have.
That's what I ask, if it's an extra one.
that's a different subject, but
Okay,
I think we
that
should,
chart needs to be updated with the latest 2 raises that we just had.
yeah, I tried that the one year during budget, and I was told not to do it by the Board of Commissioners, so.
They
it
aren't
didn't
here
get
no more.
updated.
They're not here
Remember, Wayne?
Yeah, they aren't here no more, they left.
Yeah,
They left.
okay, so, right,
So-
we can,
We need a
salary
motion
to
to,
be determined.
DOE, yeah. Need a motion just to allow me to advertise and
Yep.
set
Yep.
interview dates.
Someone made that motion.
Proud of you, man.
not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And set the date for the, because it'll be a special meeting.
Oh,
What's the last date for accepting applications? Oh, interview is June 10th, but what's the last date for accepting applications?
should we say June eighth?
Okay,
Does that give you enough time if I forward them by email to you guys right away to review them?
we want as much days, get as many people as we can.
And I
so-
can forward them as fast as soon as I get them, I can just.
Well, it'll be in
email
the
'em?
paper the 27th and the 3rd,
Yep, yep.
yeah, so.
Yeah, and obviously if they don't meet the minimum requirements, they wouldn't get interviewed.
I'll also be notifying, Supreme Court, they typically post these things on their website. I'll be notifying Association, Aaron usually sends out, to our State's Attorney Association. There'll be some notice that way as well.
So let's do June 8th by,
Noon.
yeah,
That way I can get it in the mail to Wayne.
Oh,
June 8th
whatever.
by 12.
Maybe I got an excuse to come over.
There you go.
12 noon.
Sure. So you're gonna advertise for our
State's attorney.
unexpired state's attorney term, which expires
Then next year.
2022, December.
Yeah, it'd be
So
on the
when is
ballot
your-
again.
Is your term December 31st?
Oh,
Okay, so December
January
31st.
January first, sorry.
January 1st. Oh, okay.
No, the term would expire on December 31st. A new term would start January 1st.
If you just say unexpired state's attorney term, that defines that.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need the dates in
You
there.
don't need the dates on it.
Pardon?
If you just say advertise for unexpired state's attorney term, that goes to the end of next year, that's a no, so you don't need to put dates on it.
I'm okay with that, but
Yeah.
If it would have hit like last summer,
Think-
they had to run.
You got this in words, or do you want me to try it?
You were taking notes, so you can try it.
I think she's
Dive into it, Marvin.
doing a lot of writing there.
We'll correct you if we're,
Sure can.
And, right, applications due by June 8th, 12 o'clock.
Okay, advertise for an unexpired state's attorney position, applications due on June 8th at 12 noon, with interviews to be held on June 10th. Beginning at what time?
I don't know, 9 o'clock, I
Gonna
suppose.
say
Mhm.
9.
Do
Publish
you
that
adver-
special meeting.
Do
No,
you-
you won't start at 9, cause you got,
Do you advertise, when the interviews are gonna be held? Because if you get one applicant, we could ask them when they can be here, or if we get,
Well, we have, it's gonna be a special meeting, so I have to advertise the special meeting
Oh.
anyway.
yep.
I think we should set it, then everybody knows too.
You think 9's too early, Marvin?
No, I was looking to get, wrong date, that's fine for me, that's
Okay.
perfect.
Well, I'm just thinking too, if people have to travel, but they want the job, they'll spend the night before.
so
or
then
they-
you would
they-
say, interviews to be held June 10th,
At 9.
starting at 9 AM,
Beginning at 9 AM,
which
and they might come in. at
also
10,
then you
know.
have to advertise that there'll be a special meeting June 10th.
I will advertise that.
Okay, but for this motion,
It'll be to advertise and to set a special meeting for interviews on July 10th.
then
June.
we'll be in the same
June,
motion.
right.
June 10th, yeah.
I have it all in one.
Okay,
Go ahead and read it, please. Then one of us will say so
To
moved.
advertise for unexpired state's attorney's position with applications due on June 8th at 12 o'clock noon, with interviews to be held on June 10th, beginning at 9 AM.
With a special meeting to hold interviews.
I took every one of my notes. Oh, do we wanna put down start date on that?
No.
No.
Okay, all right, then I so move as written.
I'll second that.
Don't forget, Gene.
yeah.
No, you can repeat.
Okay,
Speak.
any other discussion? Just read it back to us one more time.
To advertise for unexpired state's attorney position with applications due on June 8th at 12 o'clock noon, and with the meeting to hold interviews on June 10th at night, beginning at 9 AM.
Any further discussion? Unexpired term. Okay, Marvin,
Aye.
Travis,
Aye.
Liza,
Hi.
Wayne,
How about I?
Jean, aye.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, portfolio updates. Marvin, let's start on your end.
Very quick one. I met with the road department, very brief meeting yesterday, and also 2 days ago, I met with DOT. The lady in charge of this district is Belinda Erlocker from Dickinson, and regarding the approach that Sands company is proposing to use. She told me she will get us something in writing. I have not received it yet. The approach that the area where they want to adjoin Highway 200 is not an approach. It's called a ditch block.
Oh.
She said they will be required to have a permit from DOT. And I asked, well, do you need an apron coming off the highway so we don't break up the shoulder of the road? She says they will provide there are instructions for that approach to be built. And that she thought that gravel may not be just sufficient, might need even more than that. So the specifications of the approach is up to them, but they will need a permit. So I'm just updating the board. And I appreciate what Gene said at the beginning of the meeting. I was gonna do the same thing. Buffalo Sands, that no action would be taken, because this should go back to the planning and zoning. I will bring that information up to them tomorrow night.
Okay. Travis?
Excuse me, Water Resource Board canceled their meeting last week. I'll have another scheduled one next month.
Ran out of water.
And The library board will meet, their next meeting's, end of June, June 28th. And based on what was in our packet here, it looks like we'll have some appointments that, will happen in June.
And I forgot the water board's in December, so we're gonna have to do that one too.
Okay. And that's all I have to update.
Okay, Liza?
Just wanted to mention that the auditors, Shanna's office had some movement with some employees, so she did, advertise for a new employee in her office. And have ambulance board Monday. So.
Okay.
nothing else.
Wayne?
The weed board met the other night, and I don't think we have any huge issues. We're not out really busting the dust of spraying quite, but of course, the noxious weeds never take a vacation, so they're showing up. Anyhow, as you may know, may not know, we have a board member that is retiring, and that's Donnie Reichenberg. So, you guys are familiar, but we have a district over there that Shanna, I believe Brad got a hold of.
Yeah, and
Well,
I now added that to our board calendar of
Okay.
which district. Brad and I went over that. Each person is in.
Yep.
And Don's in District 2, and
Two.
I've gotten an application from Shannon Seiler
Right.
for that position already.
Yeah, and you'll probably be advertising that.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, and I advertised it for district.
So anybody that's interested in that particular district that you guys may know of, that seat's open.
And if anybody wants a map of the districts, they can get a hold of me. I have it.
Sure. Okay. And, of course, I got social service tomorrow, and I'll give them a little report on their building, so if they won't, they know about it, but we'll
And
just,
I was gonna email Steve Reiser too. Him and I had talked about it last week
Yeah.
at the legislative wrap-up.
okay, so, yeah. And then we had an airport meeting the other night, and, definitely a go, the airport will be shut down a couple of months. The only problem was I couldn't get any more pavement to go out on the washboard strip. Maybe get that recycled pavement, I don't know, but I'll come up with something yet. So,
Working on it, Wayne.
we're working on it, we're
Do you think we
working.
can accomplish that before Binder leaves June 30th? Because she's heard a lot about that road getting paved. She's been
Yeah.
here for 12 years
Yes.
as
Yeah,
state's attorney.
yeah, I'm sure she is. I think it's COVID related, you know.
You liked that
I
idea,
like
didn't
that, the poor people that rode that ambulance, they could give us a book, you know, but. So that, in a nutshell, that is coming together. We've got all our applications and our funding, our contracts written up. We got a paving contractor, and we'll go forward and go from there. Guess that's it.
Mercer County Economic Development, they met on noon about 3 weeks ago. I was not able to attend. Missouri River Advisory Council, I hear very little. Western Dakota Energy Policy Committee, we're gonna meet pretty soon, is what I've been told. I have not gotten a date. I just been told it should be after, they're gonna try and do it like after a commission meeting, I think. And clerk of court, I have nothing. State's attorney, she gave her report.
Wait.
What about our?
We have to tell you about the mock trial.
Well, okay, yep, and the sheriff.
Yeah.
We had a mock, go ahead, I'll let Jessica report, because I didn't bring my notes.
It was so much fun. We ended up going way longer than we thought. The groups did the trial actually twice. So witnesses for the prosecution, the first time became defense attorneys the second. It was a lot of fun. I had Jean and Shanna, Ashley, John Tungy worked security and then was a juror as well, and my mom for jurors. And it was just, it was a lot of fun. We ended up having a split verdict. The first go round, we found the defendant not guilty.
No,
Guilty. And the second, we found not guilty. It was really interesting to see the difference in the presentation of evidence for the same case, and the difference led to us having a different conclusion, so. But it was a lot of fun. It ended up going to the point that I had to kind of cut it short and let's get this done, because I got real court here in a little bit. But the kids were great. I think there's some future lawyers in the mix,
Wow.
and it was just fun.
It was a lot of fun. And Dean was the court administrator.
And Dean was the court administrator, yeah.
Yeah, the one group, they were very well organized. They had their stuff.
And passionate.
The ones
Yes.
that won at both times, the verdict that they needed both times, that was the really good.
Yeah.
But I did point one thing out to Jessica, which she has mentioned to me before, is your appearance in court. And, the one gal,
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
so I told Jessica that, I said, you see her, she's always, and of course Jessica said, yes, you don't want to take attention away from what you're doing, and I seen that, I mean, right away I'm going, I wanted to say, would you quit flicking your hair?
In my closing remarks, I did mention that and told her next time she might want a ponytail. The one other little gal was bebopping in her chair
Oh,
while
yeah.
they were doing. So
sure.
it was funny to see some of those things coming out, but
The little boy was my favorite.
they did so good. Well, yeah, because the defendant was different for each, and the second defendant was this sweet, innocent little boy that he couldn't have done nothing wrong if he wanted to. So,
And they were so passionate in how they told their story, like.
yes,
it
but it
was-
was about a crane, and so that was the Fighting Phil reference,
the
because
crane.
the crane was called Fighting Phil. So,
It killed some squatters.
it killed some squatters, yeah, Artie. So that was a really fun day.
Yeah, it was.
So thanks for letting us use the courtroom to do it. They were pretty tickled.
And on that note, we have a tour, tomorrow at
Yep.
12:30. Jess and I and somebody from the sheriff's department, we are gonna give the third grade class a tour of each part of our
Amazing.
building. Amazing, yep.
Oh.
And then sheriff's department brought their equipment out and all that, and I think we're hoping to get them into the fishbowl, at least so they can see part of the jail, and so.
With the new hinges?
They're impressionable, so we like to stick them in.
Okay, anything else? Meeting adjourned.